Tony, do you know the name Carl Yastrzemski? Do you know who that is?
Yaz, right?
Yeah.
But what do you know about Yaz? Yes, that's his nickname, but what do you know about Carl Yastrzemski?
He was a baseball player for the Red Sox in the 60s, right? Yeah,
Yes.
good player, good swing of the bat.
Yes.
Good
Yeah.
field player.
Yeah.
Good swing of the bat.
Yes.
Had some sort of record of some sort.
I don't know whether he had him.
Did he go to
Memorable
war?
moment.
Did he go to war? Or was that another Red Sox guy?
That's Ted Williams.
His head's frozen.
Greg, what would you explain to Tony about Carl Yastrzemski that he doesn't know? There's a reason I'm asking you this question.
He's the second greatest Red Sox left fielder in history after Ted Williams. He played the monster like he owned it. He had a great arm. He could throw guys out at home plate from left field. He was a great hitter.
You think Yastrzemski was better than Manny Ramirez?
Yes. Yeah.
You're old.
And so does history.
I'm not sure he's better than
Put it on
Jim.
the poll.
Is he better than Jim Rice?
Yes. Oh, God. That's not even close. Ramirez, you could make an argument. Yaz also, by the way, happened to win a Triple Crown. And until Miguel Cabrera came along, he was the last Triple Crown winner for decades and decades.
What year was that?
67, he won the Triple Crown.
The
played into the 70s.
The reason I bring this up is because Jeremy was asking me something and I didn't have the answer. And I consider myself a bit of a Greg Cody connoisseur. He said, what is this Yaz tweet about from Greg or about Greg Cody? And I didn't know what happened with you and Yaz and how you were resurrecting his spirit in the...
Yeah. It's funny you should mention that because just recently, the last few days ago, I resurrected, after about a 4-year absence, I resurrected my Carl Yastrzemski Twitter X site. I run a fan account for Carl Yastrzemski, and Yaz does not have his own fan account or his own Twitter account. He's a recluse. One of the many things that fascinate me about Yaz is that he never goes to the Hall of Fame induction. They always list all the Hall of Fame members who are there. Yaz is never there. He's very reclusive. Until his grandson made the major leagues a few years ago, you never saw or heard of him at all. And so I have a Twitter site for him.
A fan account.
A fan account. That I reactivated recently after like 4 or 5 years away.
Why did you go 4 years without a tweet on the Yastrzemski account?
Life happens. You forget about it. I've had a couple of other fan accounts that have gone by the wayside, but the Yaz account is now active again.
So odd. A couple of other fan accounts?
Well, he has. I think I can name them. I think one of them was taken away from him. One of them was taken away from him by either the Raconteurs or the White Stripes. Somebody took it away from him. He wanted to have it and wasn't allowed to have it.
Well, they strong-armed me to give it up. They didn't take it away from me. It was of my own choice.
It's not of your own choice if you were...
What you described was not your own choice.
Wait a minute, you got a cease and desist?
No. It was just a conversation we had with Brendan Benson's PR lady at the time. And she thought that...
How can you say you were strong-armed and you chose to do it yourself?
Well,
Those two
I
things
could have
can't
fought
be
to
together.
keep it. I could have fought to keep it, but,
But she had the stronger arm.
Friendship was involved here. Friendship was involved.
Ball is back, Jack. The beautiful game is on a roll, and we'll have an eye on every goal, shouting magisterial. No need to back down. Just park the bus, stop the attack. Will the hand of God put your header back on track? Football is back, Jack. Mbappe's flying through the air. Ronaldo's here for one last prayer. Will Messi come out to play? Or is it victory for the USA? It's corner kicks when the box is packed. That's how you know that football is back, Jack. Let me hear you say, football is back, Jack. The time is here, open the gates. The long wait is over, so we'll yell, let's go States! No need to back down, just strike the ball, start the attack. If you say this game's the best, I'll say it's a gag. Football is back, Jack. Football is back, Jack. Football is back. Football is back, Jack.
On the eve of the greatest World Cup semifinal there's ever been, according to Greg Cody, and notarized by the morally abhorrent Mike Ryan, on the eve of that, we were talking in the other room about a phrase you may have heard during that intro there, the hand of God. And we were stunned, fairly stunned, to learn that Jeremy and Tony didn't know what the hand of God represented. And then we just got to talking about the ridiculousness before replay of the idea of a World Cup being decided by Maradona clearly cheating. And then saying afterward it was the hand of God, it was not my hand, even though you
guys got tricked by that?
That was, everybody was. That was
So obvious.
That's a goal. Yeah, but no, that right there became a goal. That's Maradona. That he looks like Tua Tagovailoa throwing a pass, and he's holding the soccer ball in midair as the goalkeeper tries to get the soccer ball with the hands that are allowed to be used.
That can't be true. That can't be true. That picture is AI. There's no way that picture, you guys looked at that in 19 whatever that was, and then the 1900s looked at it and was like, yeah, no, that was a goal for sure. The ref was like, yeah, cool.
It was the 1900s. It was 1986. And it must be said back then there was no VAR. There was no video review. And correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think replays, let alone slow motion replays, were a big thing in 1986. Chances are people saw that only once. And if it was called a goal, must have been a goal.
So this would have been July of 86, like specifically?
Check for when replay started. Not professionally officiated replay, but just in general, the ability to show replays, because I think we had that in 1986.
Just a fun fact, that would be the month I was conceived, 10 months before I was born.
Was this before or after he snorted that cocaine on the field?
It's a good question. I think that was later in his career.
Yeah, I think this happened before that.
How much of a balls move, though, is it to blatantly cheat, and then when asked about it afterward, it wasn't my hand, it was the hand of God?
Yeah, it's a good line, though. It's become famous. By the way, Christopher was conceived because of the hand of God. I was so happy with that.
That's what Cody calls his penis.
December 7th, 1963, the first time that instant replay was on TV, and the first time it was used to overturn calls occurred in the NFL in 1986.
I
so
remember
same season.
in the NFL. In the NFL, it was called, like when I was a kid, it was called instant replay. I don't remember how it was employed in the game.
Well, but it wasn't. Wait a minute. No. So he's saying 86 for the NFL, but what I recall caused the change in the NFL was some sort of Vinny Testaverde play in the NFL, and he was in college in 86, so they wouldn't have been using it that way for
Jets
Vinny.
Seahawks. It impacted the playoffs that year.
Yeah, it was a touchdown or wasn't a touchdown and was supposed to be. But I want you guys to imagine this is a monster game, okay? On French Independence Day, France is playing Spain. Spain's allowed one goal in the tournament. Everyone, I don't know if France is the highest scoring team in the tournament, but they should be. They seem to be. Yeah. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I would guess that France has more firepower than anyone.
They're second highest scoring team in the tournament.
And that's the appetizer. Because tomorrow you have historical hatred, and you have hand of God, and you have Argentina is the slowest team in this tournament. I don't think they belong among these four. I understand they're the reigning champions, and I also understand that they have the best player in the world, but I don't think they've looked like the other three teams have looked in terms of dominance, but it's Argentina, and they're playing against England, and this is as seismic a thing as you can put together at the end of this, a real fireworks display. None of the stuff we thought was going to be a shit show has been a shit show about the World Cup. It's largely been a celebrated American shiny thing that has not yet had any of the violence, the dangers, the threats, the crowd control, the stadiums overrun, all of the things. I mean, there's ice death in Maine. that needs to be talked about, but there hasn't been ice-related death and conflict around this tournament. It has been almost universally a success with very little quibbles about anything but, like, did the ball hit a wire or the officiating? Like, it's been remarkably calm given our times. And a symbol for what sports can be at its best, given that there was all sorts of peril around this thing.
Yeah. The beautiful game has arisen to make everything better again. You know, we forget about all the Balogun red card and the way the U.S. went out and FIFA being corrupt and all that stuff. It comes down to a beautiful Final Four. And the reason one of the many reasons this Final Four is so stupendous is when you consider that the 3 winningest World Cup teams ever had nothing to do with this. Brazil and Germany had bad World Cups and went out early. Italy, mighty Italy, didn't even qualify.
Is there a hypothetical better than this? Like, I think if I put Brazil in here somewhere, it makes it better. Just as on
In place of who?
in resume.
Not today's Brazil.
In place of Spain, you're swapping a better team for a lesser one.
Right.
But in terms of reputation, in terms
of reputation, yeah.
histor-
What Greg laid out there was Germany, Brazil, Italy,
Italy.
but
Yeah.
Italy didn't qualify, and Germany was a shell of itself, and Brazil hasn't mattered in that way in quite some time. Longest stretch of my life.
Yeah, 2002 was when Brazil won the last of its 5 championships. And one of the things that makes England fascinating about this Final Four is that they haven't won since 1966. If they won, this would be the longest gap between World Cups in history. And English fans chant or sing "Hey Jude" for Bellingham.
Bellington.
And
I heard that one yesterday. It was tough.
Yeah.
And the Beatles hadn't even released "Hey Jude" when they last won a World Cup. That song came out in 1968. So, England is probably the underdog here historically in terms of just having.
But not in the
won.
game.
Not in the game.
Not
No.
in the game.
No, I think England's going to win. I initially thought Argentina was going to win, but I've changed my mind after I did the research. I think England's team speed is going to overrun Argentina, older Argentina.
Mike, I've heard some complaining about this. Why are the games at 3 p.m.?
The rest of the world?
No, that's what I figured.
The
So,
Lord's time zone isn't what you think it is?
No, you know what? That's what I figured, and it makes sense to me. Like the countries that are involved, like specifically, like England, it's tomorrow. It's probably like 9 p.m.
You nailed it.
There. But thank you. But that makes sense to me. But so why have I heard complaints that it's in the afternoon on a Tuesday? Like, no, this makes sense actually.
Because it's in the afternoon on a Tuesday, and Americans are essentially focused on, hey, I'm at work at that time, and this isn't the way that it goes for other host nations. But the same concession is made when it's held abroad. They try to capitalize on the biggest possible global audience. We even do that in this country with the Super Bowl. It's slightly earlier than prime time because we want it to be a little bit earlier so it can still be caught in other parts of the world.
If you're a soccer fan, you have to have a sudden onset of a 48-hour flu. You have to call in sick from work, and you got to watch today, and you got to watch tomorrow, because if you're not a football fan, this will change your mind. It's going to be such epic semifinals that you will become a soccer fan watching today and tomorrow. I guarantee it.
Are you going to do penalty kicks tomorrow?
Yes.
It's official?
It's as official as I've been told. Yes, I've trained for it.
You've trained for it?
What that training look like?
Looked like me sweating at 5 p.m. for a full half hour taking penalty kicks.
Deck shoes or?
I had sneakers that were either mine or maybe my wife's.
We have video here of Greg Cody stretching all of the muscles we think he's going to tear tomorrow. He had to be reminded to stretch. Mike was very concerned about his hips today. Was accusing Greg Cody of having a rusty gait that he said was something you might find at a haunted house. Greg Cody was doing some practice out there. Chris, how did that go? How many do you think you're going to make? How many?
It's a college goalkeeper, right?
We are in negotiations with a collegiate goalkeeper. But who did you do it with yesterday?
Just Christopher and my granddaughter were.
Who was the goalie? Your granddaughter or Christopher?
Mostly Christopher.
And
Yeah.
also your granddaughter won.
Yeah.
How did he do? Because we were thinking of having him do it against Pat Riley's cardboard cutout back there because we don't think he's going to make anything.
I want to know whose idea that was.
What are you gonna do about it? When you find out whose idea, what are we gonna do?
It was Carl's idea.
Okay, that's a funny idea, but if you don't think I'm gonna make 9 straight goals against the cardboard cutout, and my 10th shot is gonna hit directly.
How many
and
do you
smash
think you're going
into
to
the
make?
cardboard
How many
cutout?
do you think you're going to make? And can we put some wagers on this to put some stakes on it
Yeah.
for tomorrow when you do this against hopefully the University of Miami's goalkeeper?
Right. My goal is to make 3.
3 of 10 is what,
Yes.
and so if you can we find some stakes? Can you guys let's give some thought here. I don't want to do it right now on air, but let's give a little thought to what the stakes can be tomorrow. You're going to do it during the show tomorrow. We're going to go live out to you on a soccer field somewhere, and you're going to be taking and making more than 3 penalty kicks out of 10.
Yes, I will try to make at least 3. That's my goal.
Well, aren't you gonna try and make 10?
Oh, I'll try to make every one, but I'm being realistic here. I'm the age I am, and this is a qualified goalkeeper if he's a college goalkeeper. So,
I don't think you're going to make any.
okay, I'll take that bet.
I was watching his warm-ups, and it was one of those things where at the start I was like, we don't need a goalie because he's going to be that terrible. And by the end, he had found his groove with kicking it. His problem was he was kicking everything directly at the goalie. He couldn't figure out.
That's why I think the cardboard cutout is going to be great tomorrow.
Even times where I was like, Dad, you got to work on going for the sides. And he would try and it would go right to the middle. So he was actually getting a decent amount of speed on the ball, but he couldn't control where it was going.
Okay, speed is important. It's a wide goal. I'm not going to be just inside the posts every time. Some shot, and quite frankly, if I can kick with enough force where the goalie feels like he has to guess and go left or right, then kicking right. You see a lot of penalty kicks that are right up the middle, knowing that the middle is going to be vacated by the goalie.
I don't believe you're going to get any power on your kicks. I don't believe practice is going to help you. And while we've revealed to the audience some of your training regimen, we have secret video. We have also secret audio of Greg Cody's first couple of tries. So that is the rusted gate of a haunted house, is what that sounds like.
Okay, let me get this straight. Le Batard thinks that I will get no speed on the ball and that I will go 0 for 10. I challenge Dan Le Batard to be in goal against my penalty kicks tomorrow.
Well, that would make it hard for us to do everything that we do.
You doing
here.
the live show in goal, Dan, would be sick.
If
Yes.
we were both out, though, we were both trying to do 3 hours from remote. You guys think it's a good idea for me to be in goal somewhere trying to stop kicks for a segment, perhaps. But I think knocking me out for the entire show to do that is just going to get sad very quickly. You guys are going to watch us, just a couple of old guys on the field, and I'm going to know where Greg is kicking it every time because he telegraphs it with the audio of his rusty gate.
So that's my leg. That's my leg motion.
That's your leg going back and then
Okay.
forward.
All
Yeah.
right. I just want to make that sure. of that. Yeah.
Haunted and I. What do you guys think? I'm sitting here saying he's going to have no goals. He's saying he's going to have 3. What do you guys think?
The most recent, I think, kicking activation was me trying to kick the field goals in Doral when I tore my hip off my bone. I would say, Greg, be very careful because you're used to doing 1 penalty kick in a row, right? Not 10.
Yeah.
So it's like once you get to like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you're going to try to put more speed on that ball. And it's like your hip is not ready to do that. You weren't meant to do that. You're meant to do 1 at a time.
I like the idea that Greg thinks that the keeper has to anticipate where he's going with the ball because he's got so much pace behind it
We'll see.
that he can't afford to just play the reaction game. He's got to get the analytics out and try to get some predictive analysis.
There's a
Okay.
scenario where Greg is going to kick to one side and the goalie will have laid out to the other side.
I was kicking with such force that Christopher could not catch the ball that I kicked directly at him. He had to bat it down.
So he saved it.
Which he did.
Now, that
No,
should,
because I kicked it right
that's
at
just
him.
me flexing my goalie skills. If I know that's the goalie move of you don't catch it, you bat it down.
Okay,
I was just showing off.
Okay,
honestly.
I dare you to show the video of me with my velocity.
Regular
on the
dare
ball.
or double dare?
Double dare, actually. Because I was getting, I'm not worried about velocity. I'm not worried about power behind the shot. I'm more worried about, being able to go left and right with it as opposed to just kicking it straight.
It's funny that you should mention all of that. I'm not going to ruin what I got in terms of exclusive video, but I am going to send to you guys what I have, and I'm gonna get the live time reaction here from all of you. In fact, okay, here it is right here. So I'm gonna do this. And you guys are going to look at it at the same time, okay? I'm going to give you the time just so that you can enjoy what it is that I'm presently putting in front of you. I am given here a shot of Greg Cody. Now, to be fair to him, he's probably not kicked the ball in 30 years before the video that I have here. But the video that I have here, I want you guys to look at and make your assessment, all of you, on what you think. Roy, I can't do it on your phone because it's an Android. So I want you
God
guys.
damn it.
I want you guys to look at what it is that I sent you, and you guys tell me how you think. Just give me a numerical. Try to.
Okay. Let me say, I'm not even looking at the video. Let me say one thing. If you have me shooting with my instep, that is not how I will be striking the ball tomorrow. With my instep. That is not how I'll be striking the ball.
He will kick the ball 3 times. He will get 1 on goal. It will be blocked, and then he will feign an injury. That is what's going to happen.
I can't share this with the audience, but what I have sent those guys, yes or no, Tony? Tony, yes or no? It's far worse than you imagined in your worst imagination.
I feel bad for Grayson who had to go run and get the ball.
Pat Riley is going to do an incredible job in net.
Greg, if that ball, if you get it on goal against any kind of goalkeeper with that velocity, he's going to blow on the ball to stop it from getting into the net.
I kicked with my instep, correct?
You keep saying this, Greg.
Yes.
Greg, it's whatever
That's not
instep.
how I'm going to be striking the ball tomorrow with my instep.
You're going to do it with your toe.
No, not with my toe, with my top foot.
I think we have a potential Young Wei Koo situation where he kicks the ground before the ball.
Old Wei Koo is more like it.
That sounds like his stomach as well, I might add, during most Tuesdays.
So Greg Cody, first down.
The disappointment on Greg's granddaughter's face when she has to go fetch that ball.
I sent them a video of a ball going 20 yards wide right, and I think I'm being generous.
Right.
I think I'm being generous there.
Okay.
You could stack 4 goals side by side. It would not have hit target.
Yeah, that was probably my worst shot of the practice session. Sure. Okay. I'm going to make believers out of everybody tomorrow. I'm going to show you all.
So we've set it up properly. I look forward to doing all of that with you tomorrow. As UM football fans get mad at CBS Sports for snubbing the UM wide receiver room in its rankings of best receiver rooms in the nation, I don't think I will get what I think is the correct answer from you guys on what I'm about to ask, which is, give me the single reason that you believe that the last 2 years of University of Miami football have been as productive, successful, reinvigorating as they have been. Because the only thing that I see derailing this possible season, the most promising of all 3 seasons, is what I think is the reason. But give me what you think, Greg, is the single reason that the University of Miami is now a football power to clearly be reckoned with if it can stay healthy.
Yeah, Mario Cristobal decided to build from the ground up and pay the attention to the offensive line and the defensive line, and all of a sudden they became behemoths. They became giant and really, really good on both sides of the ball.
Wildly important, not what I put at the top of the list, but very important. What would you nominate, Zaz?
The answer is money.
Well, a lot of teams have money, though. I mean,
But the Canes have not been spending, and now they are, and this is what happens. You get the local kids, you get the talents that like they're doing the thing now that other schools had been.
Okay, I do have a second answer, which would be Mario has won the portal to get the top-rated quarterback 2 years in a row, and arguably now 3 years in a row.
mine is ancillary to that, but not quite that.
Ancillary.
Tony, what would be your nomination here?
I think getting great athletes on the outside too. They've got great skill players on top of the trenches, on top of quarterbacks. Like they've been able to go out and do things that the Canes teams of the past haven't had.
Mike, do you have a nominee here?
One singular nominee, dudes.
And the reason I'd knock all of those out is the only thing I can think of that would knock this season out, okay? The reason that they've been better than they've ever been is because, fortuitously, in that sport, it's not that they've had quarterbacks. They've had extraordinary quarterback health. This season gets undermined and collapses, even though everything you guys just said is true, if this quarterback gets hurt. It collapses on the spot. Every expectation falls down. They've had 2 years. Now, what Greg Cody is saying is right. They've had an offensive line to protect these guys as well. But the quarterbacks in that sport get hurt all the time. Miami's had a miraculous run of health at the position. They never have to play their backup. Like, it's a bit crazy that their backups they're never in the game, and that their starter is never even dinged up in any way that you can see.
Yeah, but when you think about it, throughout the best of UM's football history, that's been the case. Vinny Testaverde was healthy. Ken Dorsey never got hurt. They've had a history of luck with their best quarterbacks, and may it continue.
Will say, whether it's known or not, both Cam Ward and Carson Beck dealt with injuries. Cam Ward had a bad thigh contusion, and Carson Beck came in as damaged goods. Fall camp had some zip. That zip, as the season progressed, went away.
The point that I'm making, and it's not much of one, you know how health is important in that sport, but I do think it gets overlooked as it relates to Miami. The assumption, the quarterback's just going to be out there every time for us, because everything you guys said, dudes, money, offensive line, athletes, all over the place, you guys are in agreement with me. This stops being a championship season if Mensah gets hurt.
Right, but not mutually exclusive, right? The health is directly tied to the offensive line play, is it not?
Yes.
We get to keep our guys healthy because we have a clean pocket, don't we?
Well, I would say
that goes hand in hand. I will say, out of the 3 years, this is probably the offensive line that you have the most questions about.
I also think that it was understated throughout the coverage of all of last year how clean a pocket Carson Beck had compared to his peers. Like that, he got to play. I don't think he's going to be much of a pro. We'll all find out together. But he got to play as productively as he did because he was playing almost a different sport than every other quarterback in the sport was playing in terms of the amount of confidence he can have that he's never going to take a blindside hit.
Probably got concussed on that final drive.
Okay, but Indiana is the best team, the best team in the country, and they end up getting to him. But he spent the entire season, we can agree, he spent the entire season an inordinate amount of clean.
And I think one thing that fans will be encouraged about this year with Darian Mensah is he's kind of a combination of Cam Ward and Carson Beck. He doesn't have Cam Ward's arm. Few do. But he's got more ability to move the pocket than Carson Beck, although we all saw Carson Beck with his legs. He could surprise you with his mobility, but Mensah is really good at manipulating the secondary with his eyes and his ability to throw on the run, and I think that's going to be a delight for a lot of people. But you can say that about any team in the nation that has all their hopes tied to their quarterback. Very few teams in college football could survive an injury. Oregon has an experienced backup in Dylan Raiola, but most people would assume that's quite the drop-off from Dante Moore. So, yes, that's a huge part of any season.
Yeah, I mean, and any, not just the quarterback position. I mean, if suddenly Tony is out for the year, that's devastating to UM, right? I mean, it's not just the quarterback position.
This is where the depth of the other rooms helps too. I will say I feel a little bit better about the backup quarterback position this year than others, but I think that also had a lot to do with the immense drop-off between Cam Ward and Emory Williams and Emory Williams and his limitations. Nickel's going to be playing. Hopefully Miami is in the situation where they're blowing teams out and he can get a little bit more. He's got some juice to him. He's got some mobility that he can flash. But Miami's not winning a national championship if Darren Mensah gets injured.
Greg Cody, do you, and I say this as somebody who over the last week or so is really insecure and feeling a bit debilitated by the amount of mistakes I'm making with people's names.
Sure.
But are you saying, Tony, because you're still afraid of his first name?
Malachi? Malaki?
You
The
feeling-
others, they all learn from me.
And what CBS did is something that a lot of places forget when they're doing their preseason content factories. Greg McElroy, credit to him, he apologized for leaving Miami off of his top 5 defensive line rankings. But we have 2,000-yard receivers in that wide receiver room.
Well,
not many teams can say that.
McElroy and others, though, are raving about Miami. It hasn't been like this the last couple of preseasons, even with Cam Ward, even with Carson Beck. What's reversed here that has been interesting to watch is Cam Ward came here and Carson Beck came here, and the conversation was about the quarterback and would the quarterback make them great. That's not what's happening right now. What's happening right now in the analysis of this football team is, will the quarterback be as good as everyone else around him because everyone else around him is really good on this football team? It's a pretty seismic change. It's what evolution brought you at that position where you need Carson Beck to follow somehow Cam Ward, and he does well enough. But Cam Ward came here, and Cam Ward was expected to make them great by himself, and did. Their defense wasn't any good. They were not ready yet. So Beck is hired to caretake all of that. But this year, the way the analysts are talking is the way they talked about Miami the years that they were always great, where the quarterback has always been an afterthought at Miami. The players make the quarterback. It's not the other way around. Testaverde was first, but the players, Gino Toretto won a Heisman Trophy. It's not because he was that great as a quarterback. It's because all their other athletes were better than everybody else's other athletes.
From being out there, Miami obviously needs to make the college football playoff. Anything other than that would be a disappointment. But in the last 25 years and the last several head coaches that have been able to go out to practice and see the team. Best running back room I've ever seen over the last 25 years. Best wide receiver room I think I've seen. I feel pretty good about defensive back. I think they can get in that class. I don't think we're going to drop off that much on the defensive line, which is saying a lot considering you lost 2 first-round draft picks there. But I really like the talent. There's 5 stars all across there. The linebackers are very experienced. I mean, we got like 2 30-year-old linebackers in Chase Smith and Mo Toure. God rest his soul. He died for a good cause in College
Texas
Station.
A&M, yeah.
I just see him. I'm like, wow, reanimated Mo Toure. That's incredible. And the quarterback was the ACC's leading passer and won an ACC championship with Duke and was very good at Tulane. He's a proven commodity here. This should be a special season for Miami. Last season was a special season for Miami. Now we're rolling now. You're stacking the talent.
Well
you
said.
have the depth behind every important position outside of maybe quarterback, which is Dan's right to highlight that. That is a huge gulf between 1 and 2. But this is a really loaded Miami team.
I also think that the perception of the Hurricanes starts with the head of the snake. I think Mario Cristobal has erased all of the doubts about him. I'm seeing him now, I forget what outlet it was, but I'm seeing him now turn up in top 10 coaches lists. And he's earned it. And nobody's talking anymore about that late call against Georgia Tech, or he's not a good in-game coach. I think he's proved himself.
They're always talking about that call, and it'll come back very quickly. Let them get into a bad late-game situation, and you'll see how quickly you're reminded
There is
about
that
not
one big
kneeling
question.
against Georgia
There is
Tech.
a one big question about Mario Cristobal. Can you win a national title with,
Well, of course,
with
yeah.
a Mario Cristobal as head coach, someone that is not really respected for tactics? But I think what needs to be respected about Mario Cristobal is we're all familiar with message board complaints. We the last few seasons we've complained about Guidry. We've complained before that we were complaining about the offensive coordinator. After that we were complaining about game management. Mario Cristobal is wise to his deficiencies. Mario Cristobal is still learning as a head coach and constantly improving. And I think one of his strengths that is often overlooked is his ability to recognize, identify issues, and correct them.
All right, first of all, with Cristobal, and the whole, can Mario Cristobal be a coach who wins a national championship? like, isn't that conversation already done? The Canes had the ball on the final drive of the national championship game. All right, they came up short on the drive, but, like, they had the ball on, to win the national championship. So clearly, Cristobal can be the coach of a national champion. So there's that. But what's my favorite part, what I think is the best part about the current situation is, I don't know, like, every other school in the country who's a contender, when they're in this spot and they're really great, you're always having to look over your shoulder if someone is going to take your coach. The Canes never are going to have to worry about that. He's always going to be the coach until the Canes tell him, we don't want you to be the coach anymore.
Sure.
And that's an unbelievable advantage.
Yeah, I mean, it's his dream job, and he said that when he left Oregon. This is his dream job. This isn't the next to highest step on the ladder. This is it for him.
Yeah, sorry, Zaz. I don't really understand. You said there's no question of whether or not they can win. They didn't win.
I know, but clearly he's good enough to have
Did
his
they win?
team in a spot to win.
But did they win?
No.
Okay, so then we don't know that he can win a national championship.
No, but that's not the question. Is he a good enough coach to be able to be a national champion coach? Clearly he is.
Well, you don't know that until he wins.
No, I do know that because his team had the ball with the game on the
And did they
line
win?
to win a national championship. He didn't throw the interception.
Does he have a ring?
He didn't throw the interception. I don't
Did
know why
he
you're trying
win?
to make me angry here. I'm not the guy who's losing sleep over the Miami Hurricanes, okay?
Did he win?
I'm an unbiased opinion
Can you answer my
maker
question?
when it comes to Miami Hurricanes.
Can we just step back and appreciate Hayton-Ash Jeremy? That's all he's got left. God bless you. I agree. They got to win it. He didn't come here to
Gesundheit.
finish second. He came here to finish first and
Yeah,
hold
win
up
all
the
your games.
trophy. But that's all your ass has left.
Yeah, it'd be cool if your team won all their games. My team's won all their games.
So you have to go undefeated. You can't just win the national championship.
Win the last game.
Okay.
Win the last game you play.
There are plenty of teams
and then
who
be a national champion.
Well, okay, you're missing one of those.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Your team,
My
your
team is a
school,
national champion.
which, by the way, I also went to. Your school won their last
I didn't
game.
go to Santa Fe.
Didn't win a national championship.
Yes, they did. Go ahead and ask one of the official.
Ask who? People went to UCF?
The NCAA record book.
Ask the
NCAA
people who
record
went
book
to
has
UCF?
that. Yeah, the NCAA record book. Did
Ask-
it go to UCF?
Ask the dopey coach who blew out at Nebraska and came crawling back to UCF. Ask him.
That was a good coach. Good coach. He won the big game. He didn't choke.
Speaking
He wasn't even there, by the way.
Speaking of
Came back to win.
names in the discount bin, Klay Thompson, Russell Westbrook, DeMar DeRozan. All of them are said to be Heat interests. I don't know what's going to happen with LeBron. Everybody is waiting for LeBron. That doesn't clear up. But when I saw Russell Westbrook and I saw DeMar DeRozan, and Klay Thompson for that matter, that is an all-in scenario on, good God, the Heat are going to put the oldest team out there they can, a flashback to another time. I don't want a team that lacks shooting to add Russell Westbrook. I really don't want that. Klay Thompson, I got to imagine at this point in his career, is going to be a liability on defense. He used to be a great two-way player, but at this age, these names did what for you guys in terms of enthusiasm?
Made me sad when I saw Russell Westbrook in a Kings jersey. I was like, ooh.
Westbrook, I have a very hard time believing the Heat would be interested in. That Westbrook does nothing for me. Can I be convinced that Klay Thompson can give you something if the team adds LeBron? Yeah, I could be convinced that. DeRozan's still a good player. DeRozan still this past year averaged 19 points
He can
per
get
game.
buckets.
Still, he shot 50% from the floor. Now, he's never been a three-point shooter, but DeRozan's a good player still. So I would say, I think is the most interesting of those three. Westbrook, you got to miss me with that.
That's perfect, Riley, though, having the oldest team imaginable, the oldest team in the league. That's got Riley written all over it. Why don't they exhume Chris Paul? Bring him back.
But Klay Thompson, though, what did that do for you when you just think shooting? When you're just asking somebody to make threes, you're not asking him to do anything else.
I mean, Dallas asked him to do that. Mixed results there.
Yeah, but not with this rim presence, not with this ability to break down a defense and just make them all wide open threes.
I hear you. I understand the reaction. Wow, these guys are kind of washed. I'm with Zaz. DeRozan can offer something. Miami needs stuff on the perimeter. I look at a lot of them them, and I said Miami needs to get lucky on someone like that for them to get to where they want to go as presently constituted. So might as well take as many lotto tickets as you can, and hopefully you can, recreate some magic.
Would there be a ton of difference? Now again, I'm only saying if the Heat get LeBron, would I be interested in Klay Thompson? Is there that much difference in bringing aboard Klay Thompson than when the Heat brought aboard Ray Allen?
Yeah.
He's about 4 years older.
Or
than
Mike
what
Miller.
Ray Allen just took incredible care of his body, was still super quick, was hell to chase around the court till his
Certainly
last...
wasn't defending anyone.
He won a title
no,
2 years
but
before the Heat got him, or 3 years before the Heat got
his
him.
last NBA minute, Ray Allen was still an absolute monster to chase down, running around screens. He would get you dog tired. Klay Thompson's body shows the wear and tear of the injuries that he sustained.
That's the one that's always interesting to me, right? Because I do believe some of this stuff is so imperceptible. Klay looks the same in many of the same ways, is wearing the uniform, the name's the same on the back of the jersey, but he hasn't been a top 75 player of all time since he injured himself that way. His career ended for all intents and purposes. He's bounced around the league, but his career as, man, we were talking about him as the best two-way player in the entire sport.
Dan, Zaz, like he suffered the Achilles injury and an ACL back-to-back. That's a deadly combo.
I would just add, Ray Allen, when he joined the Heat, was 37 years old, and he missed 40 games the year prior. Klay Thompson is 36, and he only missed 13 games this past year. I think there's something similar there.
I don't, because of the injury. Like, to me,
But he's played the last 2
Ray
years.
Allen came here and, to me, looked exactly the same as he did every year that he played. In Milwaukee, he was playing mid-range and he was handling the ball and not just taking threes. But the last 5 years of Ray Allen's career, he looked exactly the same all the time. It's this. Klay Thompson looks like a shadowy, haunted, rusted gate of a basketball player. Really. Chris Cody and Roy revealed this to me. And Roy, I don't know the context of what it is that you guys were talking about that revealed this about Chris Cody.
Yeah, Chris asked me what the sound from the first down for the Dolphins games were. And I said
it's just a noise I've made throughout my entire life. It's just like I just did it. Hoo-wah!
Yeah.
And to me, that's another Miami Dolphins first down.
Well, let's find out.
Hoo-wah!
Let's find out if your dad knows, because he's not a real moviegoer. Instead of impersonating the sound, do you have the actual sound? Greg Cody, do you know who's making this sound?
Hoo-ah! I do.
Clark Gable,
Come on.
It's the famous actor.
Rock Hudson.
Oh, this is great. He doesn't know it.
It's the No, it's the famous actor. And I got to pin his name down because I don't think
You should be able to say this immediately.
I don't think it's Robert De Niro.
No.
Hoo-ah!
But I think it's
In the neighborhood.
In the neighborhood. Give me a second.
Hoo-ah!
Robert De Niro.
Humphrey
Al Pacino.
Hey, there you go.
If someone said that in his headphones, you're fired.
Now,
No,
what movie?
nobody said
What
that.
movie?
It's APAC. What movie?
Streetcar Named Desire.
You ain't you. No. It's
Hoo-ah!
You're not man enough to know the truth. Something like
No.
That's A Few
That's
Good
the one I
Men,
bought.
and that's A Few Good
brutal.
Men.
Good
answer.
Good answer.
And it's
That
not,
is
you're not
brutal.
man enough to know the truth. I
You
can't.
can't handle the truth.
Still no.
That's
Still no?
it's a different
Damn it.
movie.
Seriously.
Pacino was not in it.
man enough to know the truth.
That was originally a line Nicholson ad-libbed. They
Put
kept
it on the poll
that
at
was
Le
Nicholson.
Batard Show. Was Pacino in A Few Good Men? Was a blind Pacino?
Okay, who did he say? Who
That's
said
on a
who,
hot
in
tin
what
roof.
movie?
Let's keep going. Let's see how long it takes you to get. I
Play
think,
it again.
I think did he win an Oscar? I think
Yes.
he won an Oscar
Yes, he
for
won
this.
Best Actor.
Yes.
Good answer. Good answer.
Put it on
Raging
the poll.
Bull, Raging
Put it on the
Bull.
poll.
Raging
No.
It's a bull movie.
Just naming De Niro movies.
Red Bull. I don't know.
Put it on the poll. Was a blind Pacino in Bull Durham?
Chicago Bull.
And put it on the poll as well. Was a blind Pacino in Raging Bull? First of all, it's a really random thing to have stick in a dolphin.
I say it all the time.
No, but it's been for 30 years. That movie's 30 years old. I don't want to tell him what the movie is. Keep guessing, Greg. Keep trying to guess what the Al Pacino movie. How many Oscars has Pacino won? Because he
A Few Good Men.
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by DraftKings Sports. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
I've got a lot of questions for this guy. Look at his face, baby fresh. You'd never guess that this guy has been doing international soccer for damn near 3 decades. This is his 13th World Cup between the men and the women. He's the lead studio host and Fox Sports commentator, Rob Stone. Rob, thank you for being on with us. I do have a lot of things to ask you. Hypothetically, give me the hypothetical that is a better semifinal than what we have.
No, this is it. This is a semifinal fit for a final, right? Spain versus France. I think a lot of people could easily make the case that France has been the best team at this tournament, and Spain is doing what Spain does, just kind of growing into it and peaking at the right time. And no, I love this. Spain, France, and then by the way, on the other side of the bracket, Argentina and England. These are like dream matchups for a network. If this was NFL, it would be Brady in his prime, and what are the other big brands? Steelers, Cowboys, Raiders, right? Yes, please. Everybody's very happy about this.
Explain.
But I don't think you get better than Spain and France.
But you do. Then the next one. The next one has genuine historical hatred in it.
Yeah, and look, we can talk forever about the Falklands War, right? No, I'm still taking. I'm still taking Spain and France today than England and Argentina tomorrow.
Can you explain to people the history that is here beyond the moment? We're talking about proud powers that believe in soccer over a century. So explain to people why this is the biggest thing.
You're talking today's semifinal or just the World Cup in general?
I'm talking about, no, not the World Cup. I'm talking about these 2 games between these 4 teams.
Yeah, so the rarity of having the top 4 teams in the world come together and colliding on a stage and at an expanded World Cup that will be the most viewed World Cup in the history of sporting events. You have today, at least, right? Spain and France, 2 programs that go back decades and decades with the care and the pride. I would say Spain probably goes back a little bit deeper than France, who's really been on this tear since 98 when they won it at home, and then they have a chance today to get to their 3rd straight World Cup final. Hit the pause button on that for a second. Think about that. We're not talking about 3rd straight Super Bowl appearance or 3rd straight NBA Finals appearance where it's in consecutive years. We're talking 4 years. So realistically for France, they get a win today. It'll be 9 straight years that they've been in the championship game of the world. So what they've been able to do is really borderline unheard of. 2 other nations have done it, West Germany and Brazil. That was before the quote unquote modern time. And then what Spain has meant to the sport for so long, yet they've only won World Cup One World Cup. It's crazy to think 2010 is the only time they've won a World Cup. This is only their second ever semifinal game, but the sport is in their DNA, much like I think a lot of the South American countries, whether it's the Uruguays or the Colombians or Argentina or Brazil, where you come out of the womb and this is what you do. You are a soccer fan. You care about your sport. You know the players. You love them when they're on your club team. You hate them when they're playing against you. But when they're representing your colors, you lean all in. I cannot wait to get out to the stadium today for Spain and France.
I want to throw a ridiculous hypothetical in your face. I'm going to put this on the screen right now. The hand of God. You tell me if that happened today. Like how does history remember this nonsense now that we have?
I love this nonsense. I'm all for nonsense. This is beautiful. The hand of God in Mexico, Diego Maradona. I love that stuff. VAR would have eaten it up, chewed it up, spit it out. Taken it away from us, and we would have been if this happened today, or how about this? If this would have happened tomorrow when Argentina's playing and it's Messi going up there and his little frame somehow elevates and knocks it in with his hand and VAR kills it, people are good with it because that's the right thing to do. But being able to look back at it decades later, to see it and to have something that has a name like the hand of God is just so perfect. Like meant for T-shirts, meant for documentaries. It would never happen in this day and age, but I'm so glad it did happen.
A shocking revelation by somebody who's got a pristine reputation. Rob Stone should go viral for endorsing cheating there. He is pro-cheating in a way that's aggressively loud. Mike, surely you want to talk to Rob. You've got a million...
Dan, if you're not cheating, you ain't trying, brother. You know that.
He's right about
that. Rob, couple decades ago, you made a bet on soccer and you left ESPN at a time where it was really brave too. So you've seen the growth of soccer in this country. I think there's been a sizable sea change in how legacy media is talking about the World Cup. Gone are the tropes of it's boring and there's no scoring, and people are actually making an honest effort to talk about the game. What do you make of that, and where do we go from here?
Real quick, a tip of the cap to John Skipper, because I firmly believe that behind the scenes, he was one of the driving forces that changed that narrative, and it started at ESPN. I was a young buck at ESPN as a production assistant, and I did some reporting and some other things, but soccer was a joke. It was an inconvenience. It was low-hanging fruit, and to John's credit, he came in and he kind of laid down the law and no more. This is the world's game. This is the world's sport. This is a growing sport in this country, and we need to treat it with the respect. So to John, tip of the cap, thank you for everything you've done to grow soccer in this country. I think the changing moment for me was the 2002 World Cup, and ESPN had it back then, and I was doing studio work in Charlotte, North Carolina, living on Korea, Japan time in North Carolina during the summer. And that was, I think, kind of like a throwaway World Cup in a lot of bosses' minds, the hours are awful. No one's going to watch. And then all of a sudden, we're getting these viral videos of people waking up at ungodly hours in places like the Dakotas and Nebraska and gathering en masse to watch the games and care about it. And I think for me, that was the World Cup. That was the trigger moment where I was like, no, we're going to be fine. We dealt with it at Fox in 2018 when it was our first men's World Cup and the U.S. failed to qualify. And, listen, I was pretty hungover the next morning, I'll admit that, and a little bit lost and foggy, but I also knew that soccer had grown to a level that even if your quote-unquote home country wasn't playing, this sport in this tournament was going to be just fine. So I am loving these moments of still millions of people coming into the tent and experiencing soccer for the first time. I got a lot of people asking me a lot of crazy ass questions about stoppage time and the clock and hydration breaks and what this guy means and why they're doing this. But yet there is such a larger base of people who can handle those answers and welcome people in and make them feel comfortable. And yeah, I think this summer is just another kind of growth point, particularly with it being here on home soil, where people are going to say the sport is here.
Final round, we're bound to get a great final. But what to you is the dream championship game, both in terms of TV draw and in terms of best matchup?
it's a tough one because, the England-Argentina thing for a viewing audience here in the United States, England obviously brings eyeballs, but so does Lionel Messi, and so does the defending champ. And to have the opportunity to have France and Argentina play a repeat final 4 years later, where you have arguably the best collective in France with some of the greatest stars, and Kylian Mbappe is that guy who's probably going to take over the mantle for Lionel Messi. And then you got the 39-year-old Argentinian who just keeps on soldiering on and going now like 120 minutes in 2 out of his last 3 games and going the full 90. And you've got a GOAT that's playing. So I think whenever a GOAT is involved and you've got those iconic colors of Argentina, your eyes just go there. So I think the dream final, and I'm sure there'll be some pushback, and I know people are smarter than me and have numbers, but I would go France, Argentina.
Rob, if people didn't call you an ugly American for changing a rule in the game, what would you change about this tournament?
Good one. By the way, I'm so happy we haven't been ugly Americans at this World Cup. I think that's been like one of the real big wins. And I'm not making a joke about that. Like I have been so warmed up by the thoughts and the visuals and the feedback of people coming to our shores and coming into our country and wanting to take as many gallons of ranch dressing as they possibly can back home. And Erling Haaland, I don't know if you saw that. He got off the plane yesterday with a stuffed raccoon and a gin bottle. I don't even know where you find that. I'm kind of proud of him and jealous that I don't know where to get that, but he's taking that back to Norway. So I love the fact that our country has really opened up our front door and our front porch and said, come on in and enjoy what we are, whether that's Waffle House or Costco or stuffed raccoons. All right. But to get back to your point, so one of the things, listen, I love this sport dearly. And one of the things that I hate about it is there are like 2 or 3 things that prevent a lot of sporting fans from coming in and enjoying that sport. So Urban Meyer is a dear friend of mine. There's the raccoon, right? Like the raccoon's going to bring people in. I don't know what kind of gin bottle that is. It's amazing. I wish it was more like, really, if that was truly American, it would probably be like a possum on a Jack Daniels bottle. But we'll save that for another show. I hate the diving. I hate the faking. If there's any way I can kind of get rid of that, because that rolling around, the theatrics, that is part of this sport and the DNA of this sport, but it also turns off so many people and it's unnecessary and it stains the reputation of this sport and of those players. So if there was a way, and we've tried and we've done a pretty good job narrowing that down, but it still exists, but get rid of the diving, get rid of the rolling around, get rid of the faking.
I did not have the sentence "There's the raccoon" being uttered during this segment.
That's good production work. Yeah, excellent behind-the-scenes work, Dan.
Thank you.
Your crew was ready.
It sounds like what you're saying, if I'm reading between the lines here, is that the dream matchup in the final would be the game you get today. In terms of not stories, just excellence. You believe these to be the 2 best teams in the tournament.
In terms of soccer, yeah, I think so. But there's no chance I'm going to complain about any of these potential matchups in the final. And I don't mean that just as a company guy. Like, I'll be happy to watch Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane try to bring it home. I would love to see the GOAT, Lionel Messi, try to end his international career with back-to-back World Cup titles. I'd thrilled to see Spain try to get their 2nd World Cup ever. I don't know how that's happened, but France has just been so damn good and so deep and so talented. And I think the way they play is kind of addictive. And if you drop in a newbie into the stadium or in front of the television and they're like, watch this team, those people are going to go, damn, they're good. They're fast and they're athletic and it's sexy. And I want to watch more of this. That's not a reason that I like them in the final. It's just I love the allure that the French have created this summer. So I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled however it plays itself out, but ideally I'd like to see France get through today, and it's going to be a of a fight for them to get past Spain. And I hope there's extra time. Like, give me an extra 30 minutes of this and maybe some PK drama, because I would love this to be extended out as long as possible.
Do you guys know what the you-know-what is there?
Hell.
Do you know?
It's going to be a hell of a
fight.
fight.
I think he would have said a hell of a fight if he meant hell. The you-know-what made it seem like it was stronger than hell.
Heck.
Rob, as far as career achievements go, Where do you rank winning the 24/7 WWE title?
Pretty damn high. Pretty damn high. I'll tell you that. Yeah, I'm a wrestling nerd. I've been into it for a long time, going to the old Hartford Civic Center in the mall and watching Blackjack Mulligan with the claw. And I remember being in an elevator with George the Animal Steele when I was on a road trip with my Colgate soccer team on the island, taking on Adelphi and just like freaking out. I have the belt. They were kind enough to give me a replica of the belt, and it's heavy and it's legit. And when a few cocktails enter the bloodstream, the belt does come out around the house, and it's so fun to kind of like going on, but it's such a magnet. Like everybody just wants to be around the belt and they want to touch it and they want to hold it. They want to put it on and take pictures. The 24/7 belt was a pretty awesome moment. Do we have time? Can I tell more about the 24/7
Yes.
belt? Am I allowed? All right. So Triple H, we know who Triple H is, right? He was in our studio that day. This is back when WWE was on Fox. And I had heard that I'm going to win this belt and I'm going to lose it like rapidly. And I said, hey, kid, I'm having this conversation with Triple H. I'm like, hey, can I lose this title with some dignity and some pride? And he's looking at me like, what are you talking about? I'm like, could I get like fluorescent light bulbs just smashed over my head? He's like, no, you can't. I go, how about like, an undercarriage shot, a low blow? He's actually starting to get pissed at me. I go, a chair to the back. Like, can I take a chair to the back or a chair to the head? He's like, please stop talking. Vince will kill me if I let any of these things happen to you. You are going to get rolled up. You're going to get pinned 1, 2, 3. You're probably not going to see it happen. And I didn't. And that's it. That's the end of your reign. So my reign was like, I feel like in the 6 to 8 second window, but still a hell of a run.
You are a maximum professional. You can do the World Cup on the biggest stage. You could do college football, but I'm going to throw a curveball at you here. I know it's not play-by-play is not your specialty, but let's just say that you had to break into coverage in the middle of your studio show and announce what was happening in this video. I'm throwing you a surprise video with no warning. Can you give the audio audience here, as if it doesn't have video, some understanding of the video that you have been given? Is well done. Excellent work.
Bro, what a bad spot you put him in, and he just reacted brilliantly.
He was not going to fill it up.
No, he's an excellent broadcaster. Rob,
great still, by the way. Oh, that's a great image.
It's the opposite of the Jordan Jumpman. Thank you, Rob. Good seeing you. We appreciate the time, sir.
Pleasure, guys. Have a great summer.
Something I should have asked him that I didn't want to put him in a bad spot on. The last time we had this conversation about the magic that is in the studio between Thierry Henry, Zlatan, and Alexi Lalas, we were talking about the fact that there seems to be a genuine lack of respect there that you just don't often find on television. And weird as it is, this is super weird to me. I was having this conversation with a couple of television executives this last weekend. It's weird to me that
executive friends?
Yes, my executive friends.
Add it to the list.
Name dropper.
People who don't understand, and these people didn't, and many television executives don't. Chemistry on television is rare. It's really hard to find. And the only time you will usually find it, with this as an exception, is if people genuinely like each other. And not often enough are people who genuinely like each other putting on a show together and falling into laughter instead of chuckle fest, because they're just people who enjoy being around each other. It's not any secret television executive ingredient. They don't have them. You either put the people on television who like each other, or they don't like each other and respect each other enough to do the television well. But Amin floated a theory that I had not considered, that in 2026, Alexi Lalas and the three of them might all be in on, this is all professional wrestling, guys. None of it's serious. It doesn't matter. Alexi Lalas is going to be there to be the villain, to be the professional wrestler who comes out and bothers the crowd on purpose. I don't adhere to that theory. I don't think that this is a put on. I think the two guys don't respect him. But if I was trying to find something that worked among guys who don't actually like each other, That's the move I would go with. Put the guy on that the other guys don't respect and have him be okay with the role of, I'm going to be the villain. That's my job is to be paid very well here this late in my career, to be out here and have these guys and be their foil, be the court jester so that everyone can hate me and people won't notice that Zlatan and Thierry Henry are just okay at broadcasting. You may think they're better at broadcasting, but they're there because they're stars, right? They're there because as personalities or players, they were stars. That's not why Alexi Lalas is there. He's there to be the foil.
I don't think professional athletes are willing to play those kind of roles. I think there's too much ego involved. I think there's too much pride involved to say, like, hey, like other radio shows or TV shows do, this is your role, this is your role, you're going to be this guy, you're going to be this guy. I think there's too much pride involved where they're not willing to play that role.
I watched a lot of those three interacting. I think that the other two, the two accomplished guys, see Lalas as the token American. We had to have an American broadcaster for a U.S. World Cup. This is the guy we got.
He's been there forever,
put
though.
up with him.
They didn't just have him for the U.S. World Cup. He's like their longest tenured analyst.
I know, but for this World Cup, you have to have an American.
I mean,
you have to.
The disrespect seems genuine because one of them is French and the other one is Zlatan. And Zlatan doesn't respect anyone, really. I think Alexi should be commended because I do think he's playing a heel and he's not too offended by it, which is interesting considering not just the fact that he's the American star, but because he's been the de facto credible voice. Even though he always says outlandish things, guys, American soccer fans have not liked Alexi Lalas's takes, both on the sport, the homerism, and the political stuff, too. He is not really well respected within his own community, but he became a huge television star, and I do commend him for leaning into the dynamic. It allows Zlatan to be the most Zlatan.
I want to celebrate something that just happened here, which was Greg Cody at the height of professionalism. He's never done this before. He wrote me a note that said, I have a bison fact.
Yes.
And I want to stop everything that we're doing.
Thank you.
To acknowledge that Greg Cody's judgment, and I'm going to give you carte blanche here the rest of the way on our careers.
Okay.
Anytime you feel like you have something that could bring everything that we're talking about to a screeching halt,
Right.
we will stop the show in your honor
Okay.
to do it. What is the bison fact that you have?
Well, I'm like the bison correspondent for the show. As you know, we just vacationed briefly in Wyoming, where I was face-to-face with a major herd of bison. As you know, we had a private tour guide.
Face-to-face?
Yeah, I was face-to-face. I was within 20 feet of a bison in a car, so I didn't put myself at risk like this guy. But when I'm watching that, here's what I see. I see a horny bison. I see testosterone raging through that bison, and I'm serious because this is the onset of mating season for bison. This was a horny bison who's agitated easily. He's got testosterone, and 2 months ago, he would have been more docile and probably just laid there. Guarantee.
Maybe. I don't think you can guarantee that, even though.
No, I just did.
Was that your bison fact?
Yeah, that was my bison fact, is that it's mating season, and the testosterone and the horniness explains the agitation.
ZZ Top is hiding there behind one of the trees, but that's not working. And it really is amazing video. I want to talk about something else here, though. Are you okay? Is everything all right?
Christopher just whispered.
Must, like, without the beard. If he didn't have the beard, that's Uncle Dick.
Yeah, I'm going to call my brother and make sure that wasn't him.
Bison Daily.
Mike Bison.
There you go. Nice. Let's keep it going, guys.
Please don't. That's enough. Bison Dele and
That's
Mike,
all the Bisons.
Mike Bison. That is enough.
M. Bison, Street Fighter.
The lawless combination on the broadcast is one thing, but last night I think Netflix finally got the sporting event that it wanted the way that it wanted it. There were complaints about Will Ferrell. For those of you who were not watching the Home Run Derby last night, the standout things, they got the story right. The Jordan Walker stuff was nice, right? You got the drama, the family, like, man, oh man, the NBA tried to sell us the Curry family for a while. Family sells. Family, when you start throwing love and passion and parents and kids into things. Netflix got the home run derby. The home run derby had grown stale, I feel like. I feel like most people were ignoring the home run derby and were mad at Netflix for their last baseball foray. Baseball people can be super precious. So when Netflix is sitting there promoting all their things, even though that's why baseball's there, so Netflix can promote all its things. Like, don't get this twisted. The reason Netflix got baseball isn't because they want baseball. They want baseball's eyes to be talking about and thinking about Netflix. Like, they're only in live sports to sell all the other things they have, but they have to do it in the modern age. Gone is the quaint time where you could just sit your celebrities in the All-Star Game seats, right, to promote the shows on your network. This is the new way we're doing it, and it sounded like it got universal applause everywhere. I heard very little criticism of anything except for Will Ferrell and a little bit for Barry Bonds.
I had it on the second TV in the Zaslow Mansion family room, so I didn't have the sound on it because on the big TV I was watching my stories all night. But I was able to see what was going on with the home run derby, and certainly the finish was really fun. I mean, Kyle Schwarber, who, of course, hometown guy, he had a good performance in the finale, and so the entire crowd there is rooting against Jordan Walker in the final at bat, and they keep going back to Walker's parents. His mom and his dad are sitting in like the third row, and they're so into it. And he needed to close hitting I think it was six consecutive swings, because on the last ball you get to keep going. So he needed 6 consecutive swings to win, and he got it. And the crowd, which was so jacked because of Kyle Schwarber, they're just dead silent and then heading for the exits like they lost the game. I've never seen that home run derby.
You can hear Walker's family in a crowd that's been stunned silent in Philadelphia.
Right. But Philadelphia, make no mistake about it, if it wasn't for Dad being up there, Philly crowd wanting Schwarber would have booed the heck out of this guy, Jordan Walker.
They booed him like crazy.
Not once Dad was up there.
No, I think maybe.
Not once Dad was up there, they didn't.
That was during the interview.
Right.
Once it was like they were done selling. I think at that point, a lot of people had left. So at that point, they weren't booing. But they were. And even Wilson Contreras in the semifinal was the same thing where he got close to winning and they were booing him. It was the drama with the home crowd, with the home guy, made it. I was a little, the first round of it, I was just like, this feels like every other home run derby, but that semifinal and the final, it was a great home run derby.
And got to give Philly fans credit because they also were great at reading ball off bat. Like they knew in something that was all about swings, and you knew how many were going to be left when the ball was coming off Contreras' bat, when the ball was coming off Walker's bat. If it was a flyout and it wasn't a home run, they instantly knew and were erupting and then booing every time the ball was off the bat and it was going to be a homer.
It was an exciting look. I don't want to be the guy who throws a wet towel on everything. It was an exciting finish to the home run derby, but I'm sorry, it's not a great home run derby field when the home run derby champion before this season had never hit more than 16 home runs in a season. This is not a slugger. Nobody on earth, including Cardinals fans, think of Jordan Walker as a classic home run slugger.
You are being a wet blanket for no good reason.
Baseball fans know Jordan Walker.
Yeah.
He's been one of the Cardinals prospects for many years.
Okay, he had 16 home runs as a rookie, and after that, this season he's got 22. This is his first year.
He beat Schwarber. Schwarber's a bomb hitter.
I know. I'm thinking back to the days when a home run derby would have 8 or 10 true home run hitters.
Yeah, but 22 home runs at the break is really good.
It is, and prior to this season, he'd hit no more than 16 in a whole season. I don't think anybody thinks of Jordan Walker as a classic home run slugger, and so why is he invited to a home run derby?
Because they're all classic home run sluggers now. Everyone who plays the sport is a classic home run slugger.
Especially when you got your friend out there throwing law balls.
You're being a wet
at
blanket
60
on
miles
something
an
that
hour.
was positive. I don't know why. No, you are though.
It's a bad home run derby.
Well, let's hear from Barry Bonds here real quick. He disagrees slightly with Greg Cody's appraisal that it's a bad home run derby.
It was the greatest home run derby I ever seen. I had to match 3 home runs to get to win 11 home runs. Amazing. What got me was this, Jordan, You were so calm, and you used your hands well. You never cared how far the ball went. You actually used your hands well as a contact hitter and just hit the ball. You were just fluent, and it was probably the most amazing. And for me to say it, brother, I'm gonna tell you right now, I've seen a lot of home runs, but to come back from 11 with only 15, we're talking only 15 swings. Brother, you got my trophy too, bro. You got my.
I just want to point out, Cody is laughing at Barry Bonds throughout Bonds' praise.
Okay, yeah.
You were.
You know what they didn't show there? They cut it out. Is when Barry Bonds said to Jordan Walker, "And you did it without steroids. Congratulations, man."
All wet blanket.
I loved Barry being like, and I'm even saying it. I mean, if I'm telling you.
And I'm even saying it.
It does sound odd.
To me, it does carry weight, though. Like, he didn't have to say that, but the fact that he's saying, this is me telling you those are good home runs, you can laugh at that. I assure you that Jordan Walker was registering who was saying that, because that's the greatest hitter there's ever been in my lifetime.
And he's sitting on a couch with Pujols as well.
Yeah, there's that. Let's play, though. Let's see if the wet blanket has something on this, on the emotion of Jordan Walker. I'm going to get Greg on this. It's a father and son thing, and I'm going to get Greg on this. He's going to change his mind here.
They're still booing you. What's it like to have 40,000 people boo you?
I was once told you don't boo nobody, so it feels pretty good. Yeah.
That's right. How about your dad, Derek? Get over here.
Yeah.
Get over here. How about your boy?
Oh, he was awesome today. I just loved everything about it. Just his attitude, his approach, the smoothness in his swing. Looked like his dad. Yeah, he just did a great job. We're so proud of him.
Did we sway you?
I mean, yeah, I love the father-son relationship. That's why when the father started talking, the boos calmed down.
And you wanted him to be booed?
But I still maintain that it was not a great. It was a great finish to a home run derby, but it was not a classic home run derby where you've got guys in the field who have a chance to hit 50 home runs.
You're just saying, okay, I think we could, like, yes, Judge wasn't in it, Ohtani wasn't in it, but, like, it was a good product. Yes, maybe there could have been a couple bigger names. That seems to be your only gripe here.
Let me tell you something. The home run derby equivalent is the slam dunk contest in the NBA. It isn't what it used to be. It is. You don't have Michael Jordan in the slam dunk contest anymore.
But wait, just Junior Caminero before the All-Star break had like 12 home runs in 18 games, and they've got, they had 3 of the top 4 home run hitters in the sport, and Walker's in the top 10. Like, I don't know what you wanted from last night that would have made that any better, but and then that you're not a wet blanket.
It to be on a network channel.
Okay, you guys are easily pleased.
Maybe Fox. Or Fox Nation.
The thing,
1776.
I saw that price. Incredible.
The thing that I want to talk about from that game and from tonight's All-Star game that I don't think is getting enough attention, though it's getting plenty of attention in baseball. Zach Wheeler has had an all-time I'm taking my ball and going home moment. Zach Wheeler is so angry and so petty that he has done something in a moment of anger that history will record he was not an all-star this year. And Zach Wheeler, for those of you who do not know, he has been the Phillies. He's been a great pitcher for the Phillies for a couple of years now, and he deserves to be in this All-Star game, and he's still mad about how hard it was to get into last year's All-Star game. But wherever it is we talk about the ego of Jaylen Brown or Tyler Hero and how and where they get disrespected, I don't have a lot of examples of the kind of petty of a guy had a chance to play in the All-Star game in his hometown. And because they didn't ask him to play in it soon enough, and he knew he deserved to, and he's not wrong in any way. Doesn't make any sense that Jesus Luzardo would be in the All-Star game as his teammate over him unless you consider the fact that he just pitched and Skubal had no answers for him because of how pissed he was pitching. He had a chance to be in the All-Star game in his hometown, which is something you get once in a lifetime as an opportunity. And he declined it because he's like, I'm not going to be the 5th option. I was stunned by that. The amount of self-respect that man has and the indignity that makes him torch Skubal in his last outing because he's like, no, I'm one of the best. Why are you not regarding me as one of the best? Why do I have to beg to get in your All-Star game? You know what? I don't want to be in your All-Star game. Keep your All-Star game. I just haven't seen a whole lot of athletes do anything like that.
I loved it. For everything you said, but I think we could agree that if he had some type of clause in his contract, if I make the All-Star game, get $1 million bonus, he'd have been in it. So I have to assume he didn't have that.
Can we find out? Can we find out if Zach Wheeler has any clause in his contract? Because I believe that this indignity is not something that I would just wash away with money. This is an uncommon amount of petty, because there's not an amount of money I could give a player to say, hey, how much would you give me if I let you play in the All-Star game in your hometown? It's something that people dream about.
Can he do the semantics thing of like accept the invite and then be like, I need to rest my arm? So then on his resume,
if he had a bonus clause,
he can be considered an all-star, but I'm not going to play.
But that was the whole, because they were going to be pitching on Sunday. He was already frustrated he wasn't added in the initial roster. Then they didn't ask him in the second go-around because they knew he wasn't going to be able to pitch. So when they came to him for the third time after disrespecting him that way, he was like, you know what? Screw you. I don't want to do this anymore.
It's 1776 for the whole year.
Dan, do you know what you get?
The home of real American freestyle.
Yellowstone, but not
Yellowstone, but
the guy from Yellowstone.
The guy from it. I think Rob Lowe has a show.
Rob.
And more. Gutfeld!
Isn't he hurting his own bank account though? Like
Gutfeld?
If you're an all-star,
he's got a
your
game
next
show.
contract, you get more money.
It's a game show.
If I'm Wheeler there, I might give him the middle finger, but I'm at least accepting the bid first so I can put on my resume that I'm an all-star this year.
Likes Gutfeld.
Dan, do you like the Property Brothers?
Let's have Kirkshin on today or tomorrow to ask him about that. And in the interim, I want to play some cringe television for you guys. Before I play this sound, I just want you guys to know that Justin Verlander was never designated for assignment, and Justin Verlander was drafted second overall, not in the late rounds. Now play the A-Rod sound.
I also look at you as I look at Tom Brady, Jeter, Poppy, Mariano as guys that played into their 40s. And is doing it at a high level. But this is for the young ones that are out there watching. How do you explain being a late draft pick, being designated for assignment a couple times with two different teams, right?
Me?
Yeah, no?
That's wrong. You got the wrong notes.
I get it. No, but the question...
You got the wrong notes.
What?
What?
Hey, Ron, what are you doing?
Plays it off like he's joking.
Oh, what? Clasps it on the shoulder. Come on, A-Rod. What are you doing?
What?
I'm just joking. Oh, what?
A master at work.
I see a horny bison.
Nick, before we let you talk about the Steelers, you're in luck because we have the Love Doctor. The Love Doctor is here. He is ready. He is in his office right now. Dr. Greg Cody getting everybody ready for Mother's Day this weekend. And we have questions. The Love Doctor is going to have the answers. Who's up first?
I know a lot of people are going to come to you and think, so how do you keep it predictable? How do you keep it ho-hum? How do you just let it just be?
Was that Jason Tatum asking that question?
Young lady, you are my kind of gal. That's my lane. That's my lane of romance. I invented predictable. Nobody has perfected the art of dull routine like yours truly. As a matter of fact, little inside information here, my wife and I schedule our naughty time months in advance, like doctor's appointments. Quite often, she'll have to cancel because she said something came up. Unfortunately, sometimes I'll have to cancel because something didn't come up. That kind of thing.
It's good luck for us.
Do we have another question for the Love Doctor here after such great advice?
With Chris listening.
Oh, we're doing it, baby.
What are you guys doing, man?
Oh, you want question number 2?
Yeah, let's go question number 2.
Oh, yeah, Greg. Hey, man, I need your help, man. So I'm out of town for Mother's Day, trying to figure out what can I get my girl for Mother's Day in another city.
Oh, wow. Buddy, I'm worried about this. Not one, but two of the Love Doctor's marriages began rending like cheap fabric when Greg was either out of town at a sporting event or away at a doctoral conference. And the exes were doing the clandestine bumpy bump behind my back. Jack, I suggest you get your girl what you'd never expect, a private eye to keep an eye on her randy ass.
You know about that randy ass, Nick?
I don't like this at all.
Thank you, Love Doctor. Don't go anywhere. We may go back to you. Appreciate you.
I don't like this at all.
Somehow the least embarrassing Cody on today's show.
Wait till Nick finds out that Chris, with Greg sitting nearby, admitted about a half an hour ago that when he's having a hard time becoming aroused, he thinks of his wife's twin sister to get in the mood.
It was a shocking revelation.
That's what happened, Nick.
Shocking.
That happened.
Yeah, he did.
No, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. He did.
It was shocking.
Unnecessary also.
I don't like... This isn't... Again, I might need a mean here. This isn't K-Fab. K-Fabe?
K-Fabe.
Which is it? I don't know.
K-Fabe,
Thank
wrestling
you.
nerd here at your service.
This isn't...
Zaz could have helped
Thanks,
there.
Mike Ryan. This isn't K-Fabe. I don't like this at all. And I would appreciate if you guys turned the music off. This is not great.
So the Steelers.
Are you ready to do your catchphrases? I heard there's some controversy around the. It's the Greg Cody Show featuring Greg Cody. He is counting down his top 50 catchphrases of all time. It has been a successful months-long joke. What is the controversy surrounding your catchphrase list? What is the issue?
It's big. The controversy is that based on quality demand, the catchphrase countdown has suddenly increased from a top 50 to a top 60.
What?
That's
What?
right. And it's controversial.
Of course it is. You told us it was a top 50, and we told you. We told you it was. We told you it was something you were making up as you went along, and that you weren't going to get the numbers right. And now you just changed it.
He botched it to such a degree that there are so many good ones left that we're just pushing all
I
the
knew
current
that was
ones
going to
back.
happen, though. That's exactly what we were saying.
Your brain beating me.
How did this happen? What was the ruling? What did the committee get together and decide? How did it happen that it got expanded? Now, no one's going to complain about this because more catchphrases is great, but we told you this was going to happen, and we told you this was a sloppy list by you.
The others, they all learn from me.
Yeah, right.
No, I looked at all the catchphrases remaining, and there was only 14 left, but there were like 20-something good ones. So I'm like,
thank you.
Let's go.
So wait a minute. So how did you do it though? Are there now? Is there now a new list 50 to 60, or
No,
what are you doing?
everything that's been said is just like what was 50 is now 60.
Yes.
There were 14
Wow.
left, and now there's 24
So we're
left.
not in the top 20
No,
anymore?
now we're at 23
we were
and
in the top
24.
20 of the countdown, and now we're at 24?
I'm telling you, they're bangers, though. They're just bangers
There
left.
is nobody that's actually upset about this development. Come on.
You've got to honor the list, though.
I'm telling you, I got a peek. I don't know the exact order, but I got a peek of what the top 10 looks like, and it is just banger after banger.
Yeah, Yeti hated it. He's against it.
Yeti thinks that we should just make him live with the world he gave us.
Should.
Like
I mean,
there's-
I asked you several times throughout this whole process. Have you thought this out? Have you planned out the list? You know that there are 50. You kept assuring me that you have it all under control.
Driver comfort is paramount.
You're wrong. You know, part of the beauty of me is a bit of serendipity, a bit of
You're the kind of guy.
unpredictability.
Giving some people some insight here into the teamwork, camaraderie, strategy, and production that go into making this program every day. Greg Cody just asked his son, find out. So Greg Cody will find out with us why Brad Williams is on. He hosts the Heightened Babble podcast with JB Ball, bradwilliamscomedy.com for tour dates. Brad, do you want to explain to him why you're joining us from New Orleans and where you're joining us from?
That's right. First of all, thank you so much for having me. I am coming to you from the Dwarf National Association, LPA, National Conference, and this year right now is a lot of doldrums in sports. It's the baseball all-star break, not a lot going on. But I am here to watch DAAA events, Dwarf Athletic Association of America, and man, it's been fun. I'm waiting here before I go see the badminton. A few days ago, we saw the soccer where the U.S. actually won. That's right, behind Ernie, the Small Wall Jr.'s amazing goaltending. This has been a blast. We saw the basketball a few days ago. Thrilling, utterly thrilling. There's a lot of great sporting events, a lot of amazing athletes going on. Look at that crossover. Look at that crossover. Are you kidding me? There's some amazing.
Looks like he got hit by a bison.
Look at that.
Vern Troyer went flying 40 feet and then landed.
Dan, that's
Too soon.
Dan, that's really messed up. That's really messed up.
That guy's nickname is Hot Sauce. The guy that was dribbling. He is fantastic, and people wonder, what are the events like? What are athletics like for little people? And I will tell you. Do you guys know, Dan, do you know what a layup is by a little person?
Brad, I'm sorry to interrupt you. They put on our screen here. I want you to see this crossover. I've never seen a crossover of somebody fall on their feet, on their face, 40 feet from where the dribbling is taking place.
His sneakers are facing the sky.
He looks like he was hit by the bison and was landing. His sneakers are very high in the air, but I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. He crossed him out of his size 3s, and I totally get it. It's a very funny video. But I mean, like I said, the events have been thrilling. Dan, do you know what a crossover is called when a dwarf does it?
I do not.
It's just called a crossover. Jesus, what'd you think it was? You sizest asshole. My God, it's just called a crossover. They're just like everybody else, Dan. I don't know what you're trying to do. And some people try to downplay the athletic ability of the athletes out here. But dwarves have been really successful athletes. Do you know the Olympic Games? Did you know that, Dan?
I did not know that. Seriously?
Yeah, Wokatard, you want to be the voice of the minority, but you don't know that Scaramanolu from the great country of Turkey won gold medals in Olympic powerlifting in 1988, 92, and 96, setting a world record for the clean and jerk. Did you know that, Dan?
You know about that clean and jerk?
I put the jerk in clean and jerk, according to Brad Williams,
Hey, yo.
who's just insulted me. I'm sorry I did not know that. Did anyone else know that? Did you guys know that there was an Olympic power lifter who was a little person?
Pocket Hercules?
Yeah, everybody knows
Of course,
that.
I'm not an asshole.
Yeah, I know Pocket Hercules. I just didn't know. Is he technically, he classifies as a little person? Or is he just little?
No, he is a little person. He has dwarfism. He has something called hypochondroplasia, which is just like my version, but let's just say elongated a little bit. And his record in the clean and jerk was over 400 pounds. At the time, a world record. That's right. Someone lifted 3 times their own body weight. And I don't know anyone that can do that other than Valerie.
What are the...
You all right there, Dan? You okay?
What are the funniest of the little person sporting events that you're watching there? Yes, the funniest.
The funniest, Dan. What do you mean the funniest? These are people that all year have to go against average size competition and now are going against fellow little people, just winning in all regards. It's really inspiring. I don't know what you want to talk about in terms of the funniest events. All I know is there's 2,000 little people here at one hotel. And according to Amin El Hassan, that is a dream come true.
Basketball, I would think, is funniest, and I would think track would finish in second place.
Well, basketball is pretty darn funny just because nobody knows how to rebound. Like, we're not exactly skying up to get the rebound, so we all just kind of wait until it comes down. So we just kind of like, all right, it's coming to me. And then track, yeah, we're not exactly Speedy Gonzalez down here, but it is fun to watch dwarves run because our legs can't go in front. They kind of go off to the side, so it looks like we're kind of casting a spell as we run. But for the most part, the athletic events here have been absolutely wonderful, very inspiring. And I'm still learning. I've been coming to these conventions for over 35 years. I'm still learning. And did you know that dwarves cannot get type 2 diabetes? Did you know that, Dan?
Wow. Congrats.
No, did not.
Of course
All
you
right.
didn't know that.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yes.
People say, what are the advantages to being a little person? I'll tell you what the advantages are. I'm keeping my feet. That's what the advantages are. All right. We're having a great time at the convention. Every night is a party. There are dances and bar crawls, and we're going around in New Orleans. So right now we're walking down Bourbon Street, 100 little people. Some people just think that a bunch of voodoo dolls came to life, but it is absolutely fantastic here. We're having a blast.
He hosts the Heightened Babble podcast with JB Ball, and BradWilliamsComedy.com is where you go for tour dates. I appreciate the correspondence. Thank you for the friendship, sir. Could have done without the Valerie joke, but thank you for being on with us. I appreciate it.
I think it's a compliment to her. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I think too. See you later, Brad. Nice seeing you. Always good seeing you, usually. I want to get to Greg Cody's catchphrase update, and I also want to get to Greg Cody's Yaz fan account because he's got multiple fan accounts, and I want to talk to him about these fan accounts that he is running. But before I do that, do we have any sort of update on whether I owe $50 because Tom Powers is not dead and I killed him? It's been 2 weeks. We've been trying to find this out, whether Minneapolis Star-Tribune columnist Tom Powers is still with us. I said he's no longer with us. For those of you who do not know the story, Greg Cody has been talking for years about writing a book called 1440, his childhood address, a history of the American home. And he was telling Tom Powers one time about this idea at the dinner table, personally, emotionally. And Tom Powers looked up from his bacon and said, "That sounds duller than dog shit." I then killed Tom Powers. Whether he's dead or not, I still don't know. So what is the answer to my question? Do we have an answer? We've got a lot of We are a Pulitzer Prize winning media company. We've got a lot of people on staff being paid to do things, research, information, facts. It's a time of disinformation. How does it take us weeks to find out whether Tom Powers is dead or alive?
Well, it didn't take the Greg Cody Show and Chief Investigator Yeti Blanc weeks. It took him probably an hour.
Say hours.
And we can now reveal that Tom Powers is alive. I almost said alive and well. I don't want to overstate it. Tom Powers is alive. He is living in an undisclosed location. He was invited to call into the show today to explain whether or not he still thinks my great book idea is duller than dog shit, but he politely declined and said in a text, "Tell Dan hello."
Yes.
Oh, nice.
I owe the greatest of the finds, $50. Good work by Yeti Blanc. Yeti finds out. The Greg Cody Show finds out. The Greg Cody Show podcast featuring Greg Cody is available to you weekly, and it's got its newest catchphrases. Are you guys excited to hear the newest of the catchphrases? Because what number are we on now? What are we revealing today for the first time here, not the first time on your podcast? You always break this news a couple of days early on your podcast.
Right. We are revealing numbers 18 and 17.
Okay, are you guys ready? Because this is very exciting. This would have been the top 10 if he respected anything.
Is this our third time doing 18 and 17?
Yes. We've done it a number of different times.
This is the real one.
These used to be in the top 10, and now everything's moved back, and it might still not be 18. This might, keep in mind, this might be in the 30s by the time that we're done. Because he keep
70, is absolutely the ceiling unless it goes to 75. That would be the absolute ceiling. But right now, it's a top 70 catchphrase countdown.
What are you shaking your head about, Zaz?
I feel like we've been inside the top 20 for months.
That's the beauty of this.
I thought we were going to be into the top 10 by now. I think we're further back than we were. I thought we were closer than 18 and 17 a while back. I thought we've already done 18 and 17 a couple of different times.
Yeah, one previous
All
time.
right. Anyway, these are the top 70 catchphrases Greg Cody has invented in his lifetime. Number 70.
Number 70, I'm fuller than Vern Fuller. 69, where's my click, click. 68, hey, Butterfinger. 67, punt. 66, Scranton. 65, I'm busier than a one-armed paper hanger. 64, George up, Georgia. 63, I'm the kind of guy that 62 balling the Jacks. 61, hey, with the monkeys, baby. 60, thank you, Billy. 59, I love him like a pet. 58, who made it a salad? 57, we're rolling now, huh? 56, your brain beating me. 55, let's go States. 54, driver comfort is paramount. 53, dummy up, say bop. 52, catch as catch can. 51, doesn't make it right. 50, so on and so forth. 49, very good. 48, the Little League theory. 47, nice hat, asshole. 46, the others, they all learn from me. 45, don't go showering to try to please me. 44, look at that jerk. 43, it's like a packing house in here. 42, what'd you learn? 41, hee-haw, 3, ba-day up. 40, I'm not going to take a quiz. 39, sassafras. 38, what, we break a window? 37, hello. 36, who won? 35, trailers for sale or rent. 34, you got to eat a peck of dirt before you die. 33, 3 words, we are the Lobos. 32, you're going to go to Buffalo with Bernie Parmalee. 31, Rappy Cack. 30, another crisis solved. 29, nice chatting with you. 28, he ain't heavy, he's my blank. 27, hey, that's what I'm talking about. 26, who let a pet? 25, good on ya. 24, dancing swords. 23, QK, a.k.a. quick crap. 22, bay. 21, blanking it. 20, that's a fact, Jack. 19, gotta want to learn, gotta want to earn. And now, number 18, put a Lobo's mint under your pillow and dream big.
Wow. A classic.
He's winded. He's
I'm a little
amazing. He
winded.
does these very well. You will hear nothing in the way of criticism from me on how well you do these.
Thank you.
This list is extraordinary. When number 58 is Who Maketh the Salad.
Yeah, who made it a salad? Past tense. Number 17. What'd he say? Thank you.
Wait a minute. That's Zaz's.
I know.
What'd he say?
That belongs to Zaz.
No,
How-
Greg's right.
No.
That's.
I've been saying that for years. What'd he say? But you got to say it like that.
But that's how Zaz says it.
What do you?
Yo.
Wait a minute. Say it.
No, Zaz doesn't say it that way.
That is how Zaz says
I've
it.
never heard
him
Zaz
say
say
that.
Well,
Never
say
heard.
say it.
No, I'm not your monkey.
Oh,
Everybody
so
just
it's, so
everybody
it's not
just knows.
your phrase.
No, I'll say it when I want to say it.
Hey, we're
Everybody
monkeys.
knows. Everyone. That's what I say.
Say it then.
That is such bullshit.
Do you guys hear what Pat Riley said?
What do you say? That's my phrase.
Hey,
I've
stop
been
stealing
saying that for
Greg's.
years.
Stop stealing Greg's catchphrase.
No, that was entirely
Seriously.
different.
You're effing with me now, right? You're
No.
effing with me.
I've heard Greg say that countless times.
Because I'm going to be honest with you. The other one that you stole of mine, which was what? That was.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, he didn't steal that from me.
Right. Like, that's bullshit enough. All right. But I honestly, I don't believe that you actually knew that I said that, even though everyone knows that's what I'm talking about. That's one of my go-to
Yeah.
phrases.
Hey, that's what
Fine.
I'm talking about.
Fine, you complete ignorance on that. Whatever. Okay, it's still stupid. But this time, there's no way.
What do you say?
Stop saying that. There's no way that you don't know that that is mine. You're effing with me now.
I've never heard you say it. I'm asking you to say it right now. You refuse to.
I just said it.
Say it again.
What do you say?
Similar to mine.
You're right. The similarity is it's my phrase and you've stolen it.
Okay.
That's the similarity.
Okay, Christopher will tell you how many years I've been saying that.
Yeah, it must be a coincidence.
Brings me back to my childhood hearing him say
What
that.
did he say?
You see what's happened here? You had your list which originally started at 50, and then you've been able to add to it because you're stealing other people's phrases. You're like you're you're like Carlos Mencia.
Oh my God.
That's what just happened. You're like a comedian who is stealing other people's stuff.
Really?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. That's my bit.
So you claim
That's my gimmick.
what, that one?
Well, 2 so far. I can't wait to hear the other 17.
What else do you say?
Well, I'm sure.
What else do you know?
Show everybody your list. I'm sure you're going to find out a few more.
Okay, I didn't know you were associated with what he say.
This is shocking. Everything that's happening here is shocking. It seems like Chris Cody is secretly enjoying this. He is laughing. He doesn't laugh this way.
I'm sure you're involved somehow, too, by the way. You're not an innocent bystander.
Pretty out of line. Yeah. From Zaz.
Yeah, seriously.
From me.
Yeah, you're jealous. It's his catchphrase.
Right.
Countdown.
You're right. I am jealous. I'm jealous that my phrase is being stolen by someone.
It's not yours.
And using it on their podcast, which we know that has become a thing on his podcast for people to listen to get more viewers, to get more listeners. Yes, I am jealous that my stuff is being taken and is essentially you're reaping financial rewards.
You basically feel the way musicians feel about Spotify.
Yeah, you're Napster.
Napster. That's
right.
an old phrase. Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
You're Napster.
Right in your face. Right in your face.
What'd he say?
Singing this. Oh, my God.
They're not even similar the way I say it and the way he
You're
says it.
Napster. I'm Metallica. We're going to see how this ends.
Okay.
You might go to prison.
Okay. What did he say?
Okay.
I have some
having fun.
breaking news. Aaron Donald has been spotted at the Rams facility.
Of course.
Oh, shit.
Of course he has.
Me and Mike were watching. It was on the top left there. Binocular view from whoever took that video. It was very far away from the other side of
It
Rams
makes
facility.
sense. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Sean McVay is going to let him play how he wants, when he wants. It's not going to be some sort of terribly grueling thing. And why would you not want that at the center of your defense if he wants to come back?
Mark Schlereth actually said yesterday it's a done deal.
I mean, it just makes all the sense in the world. Once you get Myles Garrett, I mean, how easy are you making the job of those people? Like when I told you guys the other day that ESPN did the rankings of the top 10 edge rushers, they do current rank, previous rank, and worst rank, and all of them for Myles Garrett were number one. Just all number one. Previous rank, current ranking, worst ranking, number one. If I get you Myles Garrett, how much easier? Aaron Donald always had to make the game easier for everybody else. How much easier do I make the game for you if I put Myles Garrett as your edge rusher?
Is that a decent addition to your defensive line in offseason? Myles Garrett and Aaron Donald?
Yeah, it's all right.
Crazy. That'll change the Super Bowl odds. And I don't say that about many defensive linemen.
They were already favored.
I know, and now they'll be favored by, 0.5 more or something.
And when I say it, it surprises none of you, correct? Like, this makes perfect sense. He has not played in a couple of years, and I don't know what to expect from him, but I am certain if I put it at the center of my defense that it is something that is going to make the center of my defense better.
Mm-hmm.
Strength-wise, he was benching like 120-pound dumbbells like 2 months ago when we saw him on SportsCenter. It's like, oh, wow, okay, he's still really in shape.
Poor Carson Beck.
The Rams are really doing something that is aggressively all in, even by whatever your previous standards were for aggressively all in.
They were the ones that said it.
Yeah.
They're constantly aggressively all in. I don't know how they have room for any of this.
The way that they do business, putting coaches in place who are minorities and then gaming the system to get draft picks so that they can afford things that other people can't afford. You do understand that before Myles Garrett and Aaron Donald, like this team was a bounce away, like a punt return, a weird bounce in a Seattle game from being what the Seahawks were last year. And since then, when they were a bounce away, what was weak about them in the playoffs is their cornerback play and their pass rush that wasn't protecting their cornerbacks because Verse wasn't quite as good late in the season as he was before that. And now you're talking about they've shored up their cornerback play in a way that was super aggressive with the trading of draft picks. And now Aaron Donald and Myles Garrett, like, it makes sense that if you would have Matthew Stafford as the MVP of the league and you are the coach of that team or the architects of that team, that you would do everything in your power to win this year, and it does not matter what happens any year after this. You trade and work everything you can, finances and draft picks, because you do not know how good you're going to be after Matthew Stafford. And all of this gets derailed if Matthew Stafford gets hurt. All of it. You're still pretty good, but it gets derailed. You're not staying in this conversation where you're best in the league, obvious favorite if your MVP gets hurt.
When is he not hurt?
He was going to retire last year.
He's one of the toughest dudes to ever play the position. He's always battling through those injuries. But if he gets hurt, they did just spend a first-round draft pick on Ty Simpson.
Greg Cody, the thing that I wanted to get back to before is what happened with you and the internet and X and Jeremy Taché being wildly confused by everything that was happening yesterday with your tweeting to Carl Yastrzemski and as the Carl Yastrzemski fan account.
That was a mistake by me. I never meant to tweet that on the Greg Cody account. I meant to tweet it in the reactivated Carl Yastrzemski account, but I messed up, and I immediately deleted it. So if you look at my Twitter, I always say Twitter by habit. If you look at my Twitter right now, you no longer see that Carl Yastrzemski tweet. You no longer see that. That's been erased. That's now a collector's item. But the Carl Yastrzemski account is now reactivated. I've put one thing on it since, and it's a photo of Yaz showing his All-Star MVP from 1970 to Richard Nixon in the Oval Office. And so that's the kind of content you get from my Carl Yastrzemski fan account. And so that's activated. I've been unable to activate one other that I wanted to activate, but right now I've got my account, Greg Cody, and Carl Yastrzemski. So Yaz fans from 60, 70 years ago, follow my account at Carl Yastrzemski. We all know how to spell Yastrzemski, and if you don't learn how, the others, they all learn from me.
How'd you get that handle? At Carl Yastrzemski?
It's amazing because Yaz, who's very old, he's in his mid-80s now, I believe, 87 even.
Ironically enough, no one ever cared to create one.
Right, exactly. I got his name. If Yaz decides to start his own Twitter account right now, he's going to do the _ Carl _ Yastrzemski or something, because I got Carl Yastrzemski.
Here was my confusion, because if you look at the tweet, he's tweeting at Carl Yastrzemski, which of course I'm assuming is Carl Yastrzemski, not a fan account that Greg runs. Then saying, "Hi all, I'm back. Been a minute," as the kids say. Here's our boy Yaz showing his 1970 MLB All-Star Game MVP trophy to Richard Nixon just because.
Right.
And, of course, there is no photo of Yaz showing the 1970 MLB All-Star Game MVP trophy to Richard Nixon. So I wondered how many beers did Greg have, or did he have a stroke? I was concerned about you.
Yeah.
I was wondering what was going on, and I was, I believe, the first person to see this tweet because it had been up for about 45 seconds when I saw it, and I was worried about what was going on with you. Obviously, not knowing that you were someone who ran a fan account for Carl Yastrzemski.
Yeti and I thought he got hacked. We were texting in our
I know
group
you
chat.
did, yeah. And if you go to Twitter at Carl Yastrzemski, it plainly says, "I'm who I am. This is a fan account. I've been a big fan of Yaz since 1967," and then it gives the credo of the account, which is all you can eat.
Yeah, I saw that. I wanted to ask, what does that mean?
Well, Yaz was number 8.
It's a great name.
I was literally about to ask him. Show podcast credo. It's all you can eat. I was like, what is that?
Great stuff.
Thank you.
Great writing.
Thank you.
All you can eat, what does that mean? Well, he was number 8.
Right. Arguably the best number 8 in Major League
All right,
history, other than maybe Yogi Berra.
Do me the favor of please reminding me to ask
And Cal Ripken.
Tim Kirkshin when we get him on either today or tomorrow whether or not Manny Ramirez was better as a left fielder than Carl Yastrzemski, and I think Jim Rice was also better, but he's maintaining that he is not. Can you just look up some numbers for me, Jeremy, before we ask Tim Kirkshin his opinion? Just look up for me Manny Ramirez, Carl Yastrzemski, and also Jim Rice and Carl Yastrzemski. But I've learned as well, though, that you run several other fan accounts. And have you done anything with the Mavis Staples fan account?
I've been trying, but I have been unable to activate my account. Now, Mavis Staples, another one of my heroes. I've been a fan of hers since the early 70s days of the Staple Singers. And I'm a huge fan of hers for reasons beyond music. She has her account at Mavis Staples. My account was at Mavis_Staples.
You got the underscore this time.
Right, but unlike the Carl Yastrzemski account, which I was able to reactivate, for some reason that's beyond my IT expertise, I'm unable to reactivate my Mavis Staples account.
So that's dead? That's no longer being run by you. You
Right.
can no longer be the head of that fan account.
All you need is the email that is associated with it, and then you can reset the password.
Oh, well, you know what? Thank you for that info.
Beyond his IT capabilities.
Right.
Is
I will try to
remembering,
do that.
He will fail.
Be on
when
the
he
lookout
tries.
for the reactivation of my Mavis Staples account.
What other fan accounts do you have?
I had a fan account for Brendan Benson, the former guitarist from the Raconteurs, Jack White's former friend.
Current friend, former bandmate, current friend.
I think you're breaking news here. Former guitarist of the Raconteurs. The wide perception is they're just on hiatus.
Well, they're not active. He's not former.
It's a long hiatus. Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, maybe break the news on the newly reformed fan page.
We don't think that the Raconteurs will get back together, but that account was disbanded by mutual opinion when Brendan's overly aggressive PR lady told me that
What'd she say?
Brendan wants his own account and blah blah blah. Long story short, I had a lot of followers for him. I had like 6,000-7,000 followers, and all these years later, Brendan, God bless him, does not actively does not actively contribute to his own social media. So I was the guy doing that, and they told me not to, so I haven't. So right now it's just my account and at Carl Yastrzemski.
Well, I'm glad they know that they can trust you, despite you totally betraying that trust and breaking the news that they're on. They've broken up.
I didn't say they've broken up. I'm just saying.
You said former guitarist.
You said long hiatus.
Okay,
former friends.
Here's the thing. As you recall, they had two very well-received albums, the Raconteurs, and I think it was like, what was it, 04 and 06, something like that. And then they went like 9 years without putting out a third, which was their last LP. And they haven't put out one since. So they could come back. I just saw some list where they listed the top 20 supergroups of all time, and the Raconteurs actually made the list at number 15, primarily because of Jack White and Brendan. Not to diminish the other two guys.
Little Jack?
No. Anyway, that's, but I enjoyed doing that because I gave a behind the scene, privy to my friendship with him, I gave a behind the scenes look at what Brendan Benson's life is like. And
Queens of the Stone Age in there.
Friendship.
And they didn't want me to.
Greg,
do it,
it's come to my attention as they put up the Carl Yastrzemski thing that you joined this account in 2009?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why? How?
Because, Tony, I can't.
17 years ago, before the creation of Bitcoin.
It's like the start of Twitter, 2009.
Yeah, it was the early days. I can't overemphasize what a hero of mine Carl Yastrzemski was growing up.
You had a dog named Yaz, correct?
I had a cat named Yaz. And you're right. Good recall by you.
So Twitter just started, and you're like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a fan account of Carl Yastrzemski.
Yeah. The first thing I did was I looked him up to follow him on Twitter, and I found out he didn't have a fan account. And even back then, he was known as very reclusive, was not on social media at all. And so I decided to start a fan account, plainly labeled as a fan account. And, Carl Yastrzemski and Willie Mays were my first two heroes in sports. And I really began to follow sports, and it led to my writing career and everything, all because of my 1967 was my Magic season with Yaz and Triple Crown season. And so, I have a lot of admiration and appreciation for him. I thought I'd show it in a fan account.
Look at that guy's face. What a sourpuss on that guy. He's just so bitter. What a player hater.
He really is.
Nice hat, asshole.
Zaz has been mad the entire time Cody has been talking. Can I get the Back in My Day music as I head to a place I did not think I would head today? Give me the comparison stats on Manny Ramirez, Yaz, and Jim Rice, please.
So, Dan, I think you're going to be upset because Jim Rice in every statistical category is trailing both Manny Ramirez and Carl Yastrzemski. So in the head-to-head between Manny and Yaz, Greg, how do you feel about the stat war?
Wins over replacement. I don't love it. I think it's okay.
Okay, so it's the only stat that Carl Yastrzemski has that's better than Manny Ramirez.
War. Wins over replacement.
Okay, and which of those two players is in the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown? I'm just curious.
I will say Jim Rice and Carl Yastrzemski are in Cooperstown thanks to the writers of Major League Baseball. Manny has two championships. He was a 12-time All-Star. Yaz an 18-time All-Star. Yaz also won an MVP. Manny did not. But in comparisons on home runs, batting average, on-base percentage, slugging percentage, and OPS, Manny Ramirez was the better hitter. Of course, you have Carl Yastrzemski as the better defensive player. He had 7 Gold Gloves.
Yeah.
Manny had 9 Silver Sluggers. Yaz had 0.
Yeah, and yet he isn't in the Hall of Fame. Huh.
Just cleaning up. Yaz the cat buried in your backyard in a shoebox, yes?
Yes. I suspect both have disintegrated by now. The cat and the shoebox.
I would imagine the box is still
I
there.
loved Yaz.
Is that current home or 1440?
Current home.
Current home. Yeah.
X marks the spot.
Yeah. No animals are buried at 1440 because the Petrowskis next door had a cat or a dog named Lady. Lady was all but mine. I loved the dog. I fed the dog. I watered the dog, but it was not officially my dog. So when Lady passed away, that was up to Bill Petrowski.
Why don't you just steal it? You're good at that.
I'm not a dog thief. What'd he say?
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Do you water your dog?
You do. Of course you water a dog.
You wash a dog. I feel like the way you've told us that you use a pool to shampoo your hair,
Right.
you might think that the bathing of a dog is just watering him or her and not using any soap.
Well, a dog will die from thirst before he will die from hunger. Take that to the bank.
Won't we all?
I don't know.
So
You
wait,
tell me.
were you saying water a dog as in giving the
Yeah,
dog water,
right.
not bathing the dog?
No, we had a bowl for Lady right out in front of our house at 1440 because we didn't entirely. Lady was one of those dogs that was not a house dog. Lady was always outside, a gray and white mutt.
Feral.
Not feral.
Wait, the way there are neighborhood cats, there used to be dogs?
Yeah.
That's
the
not a
leash.
thing.
The leash law did not exist when I was a kid growing up. It didn't. You saw dogs running crazy. That's one of the things my dad got crazy about. My dad had to get a long playing record that had him fall asleep and get calm against his anxiety because barking dogs would drive my poor dad crazy. And they were all over the neighborhood, dogs, left, right, and center. Look, dogs off leashes. It was common back in that day.
That is a great back in my day. Back in my day, there were no leashes. Back in my day, dogs ran like crazy all over the place, made my father insane.
Yes.
Wild Bill Cody.
Right. Back then, you could smoke cigarettes on airplanes. The good old days.
Uh,
What'd he say?
The A-Rod mistake is a doozy to be sitting next to. It is funny. Jeter went on with Cowherd again and checked him right off the start. He said, last time I was on with you, you had me facing Nolan Ryan and you got your facts wrong. Let's tighten it up around here. And then A-Rod is on the telecast last night and he's palling around with Verlander. Did you get secondhand embarrassment from that clip, Zaz?
No.
You didn't? Because
No.
A-Rod got in there so quickly with I'm kidding, that he did play it off pretty well. But why don't you let's play the clip here and see what Zaz is, why Zaz doesn't have secondhand embarrassment.
I also look at you as I look at Tom Brady, Jeter, Poppy, Mariano as guys that played into their 40s and is doing it at a high level. But this is for the young ones that are out there watching. How do you explain being a late draft pick, being designated for assignment a couple times with two different teams, right?
Me?
Yeah, no?
That's wrong. You got the wrong notes.
I get it. No, but the question.
I love the hey, I was just kidding.
Like maybe it's because A-Rod didn't leave any time to be embarrassed. Like he was really quick. Now I don't think he made it any better because it's so obvious that he did screw up. But he was so quick. I'm kidding. That I don't know. I didn't feel any kind of secondhand
Look
embarrassment.
at the face on Poppy. Poppy obviously feels some secondhand embarrassment. You can see. You would agree that what is happening there is secondhand embarrassment, right? You would agree. That's
Looks like he smelled a fart.
I felt a little bit bad for Verlander because Verlander was confused, and then he's Verlander's like thinking to himself, all right, he must be making a point and talking about somebody else, and then A-Rod's like, how did that fit? Me?
You would agree that there has been very little in the way of criticism from anything last night, correct? The Home Run Derby annually had become something to pick at.
Just the Will Ferrell stuff.
To mock and criticize. What happened with Will Ferrell?
Just like I said, I had it on mute because I was watching my stories on the main TV.
What do you say?
Well put.
But apparently Will Ferrell and Luke Wilson, in character with their new Netflix show, were like the panel to open the broadcast, and people apparently weren't digging it.
It's just, I think Netflix, they got their shows. It's like, I don't really get bothered by that. Happens at Fox. When you're watching it on Fox, they're promoting their shows within it.
Will Ferrell has a golf show that starts on Thursday. The reason the Home Run Derby is there is to promote things like that. Like they're trying to be a network. It's the whole reason that they're doing what they're doing. They're trying to get baseball's eyes on other things.
And let's not be so sacrosanct about the holy Home Run Derby. It's a cartoony event. Pitchers are lobbing the ball. They're hitting it a long way. It's ridiculous.
They're hitting it a long
way. No
event.
whimsy. For such a whimsical man.
I am a whimsical man.
Such a lack of whimsy.
I don't. Anybody, they should throw it underhand.
You are a Home Run Derby wet blanket. Why did you open the bidding by saying you weren't? You are a wet blanket.
Anytime you say you aren't, you know you are. You're just trying to soften the blow.
Thief.
But you haven't. You hated that thing last night.
I didn't hate it.
You're its most vocal critic last night.
Okay, I love the finish, and I love Jordan's dad chumming up to him afterward.
I didn't watch it.
I love that. I did watch it.
I don't know where to find it.
I love that father-son moment.
Netflix, give me a break.
I also don't need
whatever happened to this day in baseball?
Home run champion
Now, that
with
was a show.
49 career home runs. This guy's not a home run hitter.
Are you ready to do your catchphrases? I heard there's some controversy around it's the Greg Cody Show featuring Greg Cody. He is counting down his top 50 catchphrases of all time. It has been a successful months-long joke. What is the controversy surrounding your catchphrase list? What is the issue?
It's big. The controversy is that based on quality demand, the catchphrase countdown has suddenly increased from a top 50 to a top 60.
What?
That's right. And it's controversial.
Of course it is. You told us it was a top 50, and we told you it was something you were making up as you went along, and that you weren't going to get the numbers right, and now you just changed it.
He botched it to such a degree that there are so many good ones left that we're just pushing.
I knew that was going to happen, though. That's exactly what we were saying.
Your brain beating me.
How did this happen? What was the ruling? What did the committee get together and decide? How did it happen that it got expanded? Now, no one's going to complain about this because more catchphrases is great, but we told you this was going to happen, and we told you this was a sloppy list by you.
The others, they all learn from me.
Yeah, right.
No, I looked at all the catchphrases remaining, and there was only 14 left, but there were like 20-something good ones. So I'm like,
thank you.
Let's go.
Wait a minute. So how did you do it, though? Are there now? Is there now a new list, 50 to 60, or what are you doing?
Everything that's been said is just like what was 50 is now 60. Yes. There were 14 left, and now there's 24
So we're
left.
not in the top 20 anymore?
Now we're at 23
we were
and 24.
in the top 20 of the countdown, and now we're at 24?
I'm telling you, they're bangers, though. They're just bangers
There
left.
is nobody that's actually upset about this development. Come on.
You've got to honor the list, though.
I'm telling you, I got a peek. I don't know the exact order, but I got a peek of what the top 10 looks like, and it is just banger after banger.
Yeah, Yeti hated it. He's against it.
Yeti thinks that we should just make him live with the world he gave us.
Should. I mean, I asked you several times throughout this whole process. Have you thought this out? Have you planned out the list? You know that there are 50. You kept assuring me that you have it all under control.
Driver comfort is paramount.
He ain't wrong. You know, part of the beauty of me is a bit of serendipity, a bit of
You're the kind of guy.
unpredictability. And so the same is true with this list. Okay, whenever you do a countdown, Zaz, bank this information for your future. Whenever you do any sort of a countdown, controversy is good. You want somebody to say, that sucks, that should be lower, or that's, wow, I can't believe that's not higher.
So wait, so what used to be 50 is now 60.
Yes.
So we've gotten fraudulent rankings up to now. All the numerical rankings we've gotten up to now are all wrong.
He can give you the updated, like number 60, he can give you the update of whatever.
I know, but they're all, every previous incarnation of this that we have given the American public and internationally has been wrong.
I would say adjusted more than wrong.
Adjusted.
Maybe to Greg's credit, too, I've never heard of a top 60.
Thank you.
Well, how do we know it's not going to end up being 62? Because he's going to think of two more on his way home because he didn't plan any of this out.
It would never be 62. It could bump to 65. It would never be a number like 62.
We would obviously go in fives, Dan.
Here's also the thing. This is a big question of mine. So you have left 10 out, which is why you are expanding it from 50 to 60. But the 10 that you left out are automatically... Like they're in the top 23, you're saying. Top 24.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, he left bangers out.
Right.
This had to be done, guys.
Yeah, it had to be done, like he says.
Again, it doesn't have to be done if you're dealing with a responsible person who plans it at the beginning, as opposed to just making everything up as he goes along.
No, listen, and we're in the sports business. We should know this better than anybody. Rankings always change. When I was born, everybody agreed Babe Ruth, greatest player ever. Not so much now. Rankings
That was when I was
change.
growing up. It was a hot debate. Everyone agreed, though. Babe Ruth, that young kid's got a future.
It was an argument back then on sports radio. Tris Speaker or Babe Ruth?
That's right. Lou Gehrig was in play.
Just telegram in your thoughts.
I have to go back to Chris Cody here because I'm not sure that I knew this. I have to go back. So you're married to an identical twin.
That's right.
Okay, I have questions.
Go on.
First,
not too many questions.
Well, I know your father's sitting right next to me. It's a little weird. Okay, so first question.
No wonder they're into swinging at that house.
Were you always able to tell them apart?
Not at the beginning when we were just dating. Her sister has like a beauty mark on her face, so I was like, mine's the one without that.
Okay. My next question is, a lot of times, your wife or your girlfriend will be like, you think my sister's attractive, don't you? You clearly think her sister's attractive.
That's right. Undeniable.
If you think your wife's hot, you think her sister is hot.
My sister-in-law's hot.
That's
There, I
crazy.
said it.
Right?
I've never said that to her before.
No, you got to say that, though.
Well, you must think she's hot.
But Zaz, here's the deal. Everyone with a hot sister-in-law thinks their sister-in-law is hot. He's the only one who's allowed to say it out loud. That's the difference.
That's true. That's true.
Not like the rest of us are like, oh, my sister-in-law is terrible. Like, if you got a hot one, you're like, oh, my God, she's hot, but you just can't say it out loud.
Yeah. And are they actually different?
They're very similar in a lot of ways.
So how'd you choose?
The other one was taken.
Papa Cody, wait a second now. You experienced this. I mean, do you find one more charming than the other?
At the very beginning, I too had difficulty telling them apart.
But do you like, now that you've gotten to know, presumably both of them pretty well, do you think that your boy made the right choice between the two?
I have to say that. I mean, of course he did.
Oh, my goodness.
Of course he did.
Now.
I love my daughter-in-law, but they're eerily alike.
Now,
not just physical.
What I'm about to admit now is a little embarrassing.
Go on.
There are times, in marriage, you're going through, you're like, it's just, this is
I don't like where this is headed.
I don't either.
I do.
Where sometimes you just like, if you're trying to keep things fresh, you just imagine it's the other person.
Oh, no.
That's an unbelievable admission.
What's the matter with you, man?
I didn't hear
Suey. Hey, guys in the room outside, mark that down.
For
Suey
the record,
revelation.
did everybody see as one of society's great empaths? Did you see me try to get in the way? Did you see me try to dive in front of that? He refused. Yeah. He went. He plowed straight ahead.
He did.
You guys never struggle, huh?
Your wife clearly does not listen to this show.
Sure doesn't.
What in hell? No worries that this is getting back to her.
Tony, how you feel about that admission?
Not great. Yeah, not great. Even though, admittedly, Chris says that his wife doesn't watch the show, which is good, right?
Very
so he
good.
feels like he can shoot from the hip here and not really be taken to task, like Dave said. Very good. But the issue is, sometimes some things are so flammable and so big that they peer through the veil of Chris saying, "Oh no, my wife doesn't watch the show," where she's like, "You said what?"
That was bigger than the show, man.
Bigger than the show.
Let's not clip this if we can.
That was an incredible admission.
It really
Greg,
was.
what did you make of all that?
A little bit unfortunate. I wish he hadn't said that. It could come back to haunt.
You guys never struggle.
Well, in the context of this show, you can always say, I was just kidding. Of course I was just kidding. But will she believe you?
I was.
Okay.
What is the Nick Bobick?
It's a 60s song. The name game. Nick Bobick. Banana Bofick. Me, my Momick. Nick.
Rosanna, Rosanna, Rosanna,
I'm the kind of guy that Nick. Who made it the salad? Hey, Butterfinger. Who made it the salad? Nick Bobick. Who made it the salad? Georgia.
That's not correct.
Very good.
It's a parrot that says very good out of the side of its mouth.
That's correct.
What does this have to do with the name game?
I'm not going to take a quiz. Nick Bobick. Who made it the salad? Me, my Momick. Very good. Let's go States. We're rolling now, huh?
That's not correct.
Doesn't make it right. But don't go showering to try to please me.
Happy 31st birthday to Harrison Butker.
Patriot.
Happy birthday to him. I don't care. Good luck.
He's a chief.
Should be a Patriot.
Amin El Hassan has been found. I don't know where he was. I've got a number of different questions for him. The first is, where were you yesterday?
Yesterday I was in Las Vegas. Today I'm back home in Phoenix.
And did you tell anybody that? Like, we were expecting you yesterday, and then you weren't here yesterday. Is there any particular reason that you didn't tell anybody that?
Because I didn't tell myself that I wouldn't be there yesterday.
Accountability. We like that around here. Thank you, Amin.
That was accountability? Okay.
Yeah, seems like
one.
Vegas happens sometimes. That's a hand up. Vegas went off me, coach.
I did an accountability right there.
Yesterday would have been a good day to answer the question about Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo and whatever your unique thoughts are as our Meadowlark NBA insider. Have you heard anything, found anything out in the last 24 hours that is interesting there? I should say Ramona Shelburne has reported that Hero, this is the backstory according to sources with knowledge of the encounter, and I know Mike's got some reporting on this as well. Adebayo confronted Hero about comments the guard had made critiquing the center on social media. Hero responded verbally in a way that Adebayo took exception to. Bless you, Zaslow. And the encounter became physical. Sources with knowledge of the encounter told ESPN that Adebayo struck Hero near his chin, although descriptions of the nature of the physical contact is in some dispute. Hero did not get knocked to the ground, according to sources with knowledge of the interaction, who added that he was restrained by others in the gym from responding physically. What do you know here, Amin?
I don't know anything. We're all bartering off of hearsay. Even Ramona and all the other great reporters are reporting. They're reporting what people have told them. We don't know what's happened. I have to imagine, as Zach Harper pointed out, this happened in a casino around teenage kids. Somebody got it on camera. There's no way in 2026, a bunch of kids with phones and in a casino, somehow that's not captured. So we'll find out exactly what the nature of the physical contact was. But I think we can all surmise that it was about the DMs that were leaked, Tyler Hero talking about Bam in a disparaging manner.
I mean, are you surprised that the NBA hasn't even put out a statement? Are they going to do anything?
No, there's no jurisdiction. This did not happen on NBA time. Did not happen in an NBA venue. It was in the offseason. There's been no legal recourse. There's no pressing of charges or anything. This is none of their business, to be quite frank.
I still hear the hangover in your voice.
Never had a hangover in my life, Dan, so you don't hear that. You hear my voice. I lost my voice. That's because my kid was playing in an AU tournament. I was screaming all weekend long, but I don't get hangovers.
Let me play for Amin some sound from Byron Scott on the LeBron James situation, which I imagine will rectify itself here in the next couple of days. LeBron James is said to be in the consideration stage. He has all of the information. Here's Byron Scott on the podcast I thought was fake, Byron Scott's Fast Break.
10 years ago, yes, every team was calling. Yeah. To get LeBron James on their team. Yeah. That was 10 years ago. Now, Rich Paul and company, they making all the calls to see who's interested in having LeBron on their team. Again, guys, we got to understand that the guy's 41 years old. Yep. Been in the league 21, 22, 23 years.
Incredible career.
You know, it's an unbelievable career. Still playing at a high level.
Yes, sir.
Nobody's saying that he can't play, another year or two in this league. But as far as teams that are looking at him right now, the teams are also saying, all right, we're going to take him for 1 year, maybe two, and do we want to take all the other that goes along with it?
What's the other?
All the other antics, the people that's working with, Rich Paul and all those guys and all the other stuff that goes along with it.
Okay, I mean, I think Rich Paul tells a lot of whoppers, but if Byron Scott really believes that teams aren't calling for LeBron's services to play at the minimum, that Rich Paul is out there cold calling teams, asking if they would like LeBron to play for him, like, what the hell are we talking about?
Yeah, I love B. Scott. He's one of my guys. His podcast is actually really good. They get some great interviews from not only basketball, but people across entertainment. But B. Scott is a Laker through and through. He is, you want to talk about towing the party line, and that's not because he's getting a directive. That's B. Scott, man. He's going to be the Lakers' talking point. And the Lakers' talking point is like, yeah, LeBron's old, and who wants him anyway, right? So I know that I personally interviewed Kenny Atkinson, head coach of the Cavs, and he gushed and he called LeBron the greatest player of all time, and he kind of almost wanted us to kind of push back on him so that he could like defend LeBron, and the Cavs are very excited. I know the Sixers, Mike Gansey did the same kind of thing, the president of the Sixers, and he's kind of hot to trot. We know what Draymond and Steph have been saying, so I can tell you that's at least three teams. The Sixers, the Cavs, and the Warriors that clearly are interested in and have not had to been cold called by Rich Paul. Out throwing obviously the Heat as well. The Minnesota Timberwolves are on the hunt as well. The Denver Nuggets. That's at least six teams right there that we know for a fact are very interested. I don't know what B. Scott's talking about other than I'm thinking he's doing the Laker thing again.
It's a good hype, man. I don't know about the B. Scott podcast, but this is a good note to hit. It makes anything better. I would say it would make anything in entertainment better, any sports take better, any kind of music better.
Good player, that LeBron.
Yeah, that's what he did say.
He's had a nice career.
Nice career.
You know what I'm saying?
Pretty good career, yeah. Amin, I want to get to your weekend observations in a second, but before we do, just among the free agents still available out there, or possible players still available out there, who's most valuable?
I guess Kawhi Leonard. That's an interesting one right there because the Clippers and the Raptors had a deal. They had a deal. They agreed to the terms of the deal. Hell, Kawhi was at Kyle Lowry's retirement announcement. So it felt like, okay, this is just going to go through. And apparently when they went to do the trade call, the actual last step that makes the league verify your trade, that's when the league said, all right, now you guys are going to inherit all the risk, right? Are you cool with that? And the Raptors said, well, hold on now. Wait, what?
Do what now?
And so, yeah, so that's has changed everything. And now we have to wait until the finality of this investigation before we figure out where Kawhi Leonard is going to be, whether it's still a Clipper, whether it's a Raptor, whether he's a free agent because they void his contract. All of these things are on the table. And so that is a massive domino that might affect a lot of things moving forward.
I mean, why is the league willing to warn the Toronto Raptors about possible ramifications and not the Miami Heat when the FBI is investigating a player?
I think because this one is a league investigation. And the other one we were talking about, drawing a blank,
Terry Rozier
from Louisville. Terry Rozier. Terry Rozier was not under league investigation at the time. So they don't have purview over a federal investigation. They have purview over this because it's their investigation.
Let's do Amin's World Cup observations.
It is time for to share his
World Cup
game notes. No one in the media will tell you what happened better than my boy.
World Cup Observations is brought to you by Miller Lite. Legendary moments start with a light. Dan, the World Cup comes along every 4 years, bringing joy to countless people worldwide. For some, the end of the tournament brings about something unexpected. It's called World Cup Withdrawal Syndrome, or WCWs, and it afflicts billions worldwide. Symptoms of WCWs include compulsive YouTube deep dives, beginning every conversation with "remember when," followed by a World Cup memory, and obsessively trying to find the IG page of those 2 Portuguese fans. You no longer have to suffer in silence. Talk to your primary care physician about new Get a Life, the first prescription treatment for adults living with WCWs. Get a Life helps you transition from cup mode to a more balanced routine by blocking the pleasure receptors that are dependent on World Cup content. In clinical studies, patients taking Get a Life experience intense feelings of getting to know their significant others, playing a bigger role in their children's lives, and actually doing their job during work hours instead of toggling back and forth to a fake spreadsheet to make it look like you're busy. Some patients report an increase in club soccer content, including EPL and UEFA Champions League. Side effects include massive drops in group chat participation, spending quality time with the family, and saying offsides instead of offside. Rare but serious side effects include taking a real interest in community theater and spending weekend afternoons putting jigsaw puzzles together. Stop taking Get a Life immediately if you enroll in sip and paint classes, go on apricot picking dates, or join a book club. Get a Life, because life goes on after the World Cup. Unless you're from Argentina, then you can just go to hell. Those are the World Cup observations.
Speaking of hell, Art Briles, the game today.
Speaking of hell, Argentina. Argentina always hell.
I want to talk to Amin about the games the next couple of days, but before I do that, there are some other things that I wanted to bring up with him, including, because he's a movie guy, whether The Rock is done as an A-list star, because he has had some trouble here. It was a hell of a run, and I think the A-list star in general might be gone. Like, I think if he goes down, it all goes down, where it's been so, streaming services have taken over so much. I don't know if you guys are seeing that a bunch of states are suing about the Paramount Warner Brothers deal because they don't want movie theaters and American entertainment changed as much as it's already been changed. So your thoughts are what here, Amin, on the idea of The Rock no longer being an A-list star, at least in part because there's no such thing anymore?
Well, I think there's still A-list stars. I mean, Tom Cruise, A-list star. Tom Cruise still brings them out. There's a new Tom Cruise trailer that came out. People got excited about that. I think The Rock, part of his struggle is kind of trying to transition away from what made him an A-list star. People like him because he's a funny action guy. Trying to do serious roles and being taken seriously, there's nothing against that, and that's great that he wanted to pursue that. But ultimately, that's not what people want to see The Rock in. And so if he's willing to do smaller pictures, meaning the box office isn't as great as, the Fast and the Furious or something like that, he can do that, but it's not going to be what brings him the massive paydays. And that's what we're talking about with an A-list star. You pay these people because the people will line up to go watch your movies.
His Oscar bait failed. This Moana remake, which is only a handful of years removed from the original.
Yeah. I will not watch that.
It's essentially a shot-for-shot live adaptation, recreation with very new material in there, where he is actually recreating one of his more popular characters, DOA. Stands to lose tens of millions, if not over $100 million. And everything that he seems to have upcoming doesn't seem ripe for success. He's got a Monster Jam movie that looks straight out of Vinny Chase's Entourage that looks almost certain to be a punchline. I think we're done. When you go for it for the Oscar bait and you fail spectacularly, that failed miserably at the box office, despite him getting some positive reviews for his performance. And you have something as surefire as the intellectual property of Moana hitting a children's audience, and that fails too. I don't think that there was such an appetite. We're only a year removed from an animated sequel to Moana, which maybe Disney has to revisit some things. But typically, The Rock, 10 years ago, was something that you would inject into a franchise to give it life and to give it box office success. I think the nation at large in the world has decided this guy's done being an A-list box office draw.
I wouldn't say that. I think it all comes down to roles. I mean, it's the roles that make.
He was playing Maui.
I get it, but Mike, that was such a massive blunder by Disney, regardless of whether he was in it or not. Like you said, number one, the Moana sequel just came out a year ago. One where, by the way, they did not bring back Lin-Manuel Miranda for writing, so everyone noticed, these songs suck. And that was the whole thing about Moana, was what a great soundtrack. Moana was what made me want to watch Hamilton. Because I was like, oh, snap, this guy's really good. Let me watch Hamilton. And watch Hamilton. I'm like, never mind.
But they hired the TikTok musical winners, and the songs on Moana 2 stunk. In fact, if I'm Lin-Manuel Miranda, yesterday's price is no longer today's price.
Of course. And so you start there. So already you got some missteps. But then the other thing is the whole live action remake is all built on one thing: nostalgia. I grew up watching The Jungle Book. Now this is the Jungle Book I take my kids to see. I grew up watching Beauty and the Beast. Now I take my kids to watch this Beauty and the Beast. My kids watch Moana, man. Like, there's no nostalgia. Like, there's no nostalgia in order for us to have a live action remake. It's like saying, hey, let's do a reboot of the Spider-Man movie that came out a couple years ago that had Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. It's like, it just came out. What are we doing?
Well, also the way that these films are shot with all these green screens to do all these reshoots potentially and touch up with digital effects takes all the character away from what would be a live action adaptation that would bring character to an animated film. You see the trailer for this, it looks animated itself because it's so touched up with CGI. If you're going to do a live action adaptation, bring some character to it, make it seem different.
Right. And so to me, that's an example of the vehicle was not good, not the driver. Like, there's no one you could have cast in that would have saved that. And that's not a commentary on modern audience taste or whatever. That's just, hey, Disney, not good enough. That's someone lazy
Yes.
in the decision-making process.
I agree. Moana on its own had issues, but let's not pretend like this isn't a trend for Dwayne Johnson.
Well,
it's been trending downward for a while now, and I think he needs to be a part of a bigger ensemble, and he can no longer be the tentpole guy on a big-time box office film. I think we're going to see him in Saudi Arabia fighting Roman Reigns. I'll tell you that much.
No, stop. Look, he just needs a role where it's just like a down-the-middle action buddy comedy, him and Kevin Hart, him and someone like that, and then he's the big muscly guy who actually has feelings, and the other loudmouth is the funny guy, and then they get into shenanigans together. It's not unlike what Eric Andre and John Cena just did on Netflix. It's just
the Rock and Kevin Hart have great chemistry. It's real chemistry.
They do. And that's, to me, that's what you need. It's not unlike basketball. There's no player, not Wemby, not Jokic, nobody that can say, hey, I'll just put you with 4 bums and you're going to go to the That's not how this works. You have to have a good script. You have to have good chemistry with your co-stars, and you have to have a good director who knows how to make this thing look good. And without those things, we're trying to just say, oh, yeah, he could be in anything. Man, 10 years ago, he was in that Black Adam movie that was supposed to be a massive thing for
but
DC,
that was the
and
beginning of the end, though.
tremendously.
That was the beginning of that's what started it. That Black Adam movie had so much press behind it and so much money behind it, and I don't think there's been very much good since then.
It wasn't good then. That's my point. It's like there's this hubris that, just put him in it and he'll save it. And that's not how this works. Any good movie that he's been in, and when I say good, I mean successful. I'm not even saying this is critically acclaimed. It's been successful because it had other parts to it that made it successful. It wasn't just him. Same thing with Will Smith. Think about Will Smith was the biggest movie star in the world. And then it's like, I'm going to make After Earth. Why? Because I'm a Scientologist, and I really think this is, this is an important kind of movie or story to be told. Oh, it isn't. It's crap. It's a crap story, and your son can't act. And M. Night Shyamalan is a hack. And, they come out with a hack movie, and everyone's surprised, oh, my God, maybe Will Smith isn't a star anymore. No, it's just you picked a crappy role.
All right, I got some movie stuff for a decent movie guy like Amin here. Thursday, The Odyssey is coming out. Are you into The Odyssey?
Oh, I like Christopher Nolan's work. Most of his movies, to me, are very well made and very well done. I like the cast is incredible, right? It's a huge ensemble cast, and it's a story that is a timeless classic. We all know, at least I assume, again, there are people who watched Hamilton and learned about American history for the first time. So I assume we all learned about the Odyssey in school. Maybe some of us didn't. So I think it's a great story, a great cast, a great director. These are the hallmarks of something that's going to be a great movie. The big thing for me is I'm not going to go see it in IMAX. You got me the first time with Oppenheimer. Never again.
Why?
I'm never falling for that again. Because IMAX is a scam. It's just big. Okay, you could see more of the ocean. I don't care. I just let me watch.
I'm going on the 70 millimeter screen on Thursday. It's not exactly IMAX. I'm going to that, though.
Zaz, it is IMAX. I went to the 70 millimeter IMAX showing of Oppenheimer to watch people in a classroom write equations. The whole time I'm like, why did I watch this on a massive screen? Oh, now they're outside. They're up. He's talking to Einstein by a lake. Why do I need to see this on a massive screen? You know why? Because Christopher Nolan is a scam artist. Great director, scam artist, though.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Is Christopher Nolan a scam artist? I also want to play for Amin here, get his expert analysis. This is from the Little People Convention in New Orleans. Amin, I want you to tell me this video, if you've ever seen a crossover result in this kind of calamity. Have you ever seen anyone crossed over this well? Vern Troyer here on defense. Bang.
No.
Too soon.
Have you ever seen a crossover that distinct?
Face first with the feet in the air afterwards? No, I've never seen that one. By the way, I think we have clearance to shit on Vern Troyer because he was mean to Brad Williams once. So like I feel like we have carte blanche.
But let me explain to the audience something, okay? If you do not have this video, keep in mind just over the half-court line, the crossover begins, and then the Vern Troyer then face plants near the free throw line, okay, with his feet up in the air, landing on near the free throw line like a javelin would.
Should have just stayed down, by the way. He tries to get up immediately. I mean, just stay down. Just stay down. You have to, when that happens to you, you have to accept, okay, this is embarrassing. Let's all lean in and laugh at ourselves. The way he pops back up, like, oh, no, I'm good. Like, guy.
Got to grab a hammy there, grab an ankle, do something.
Wish I could have seen the end of that play, though. It looks like a nice jumper.
I'm okay with what we just saw there. It's enough.
Dan, his hips are off the ground.
Yes.
His hips are not touching the ground there. Ladies and gentlemen, listeners, he is face down. Yeah. His chest is flat against the ground. His hips are raised off the ground. And then like horns, his legs are up in the sky.
The crossover is so good that Vern Troyer lands, and the only parts of his body touching the ground are the side of his face, his shoulders, and the back of his hands, okay? The rest of his body is up. It's just the back of his hands, it's his two shoulders, and the side of his face.
Bring that still shot again, because I want to point something out. That his own teammate, even though here we know the shooter, that's his head right there. The shot hasn't gone up yet. His own teammate is no longer concerned about stopping ball or is this shot going in? And he's like, is my guy okay? He's just staring at his guy right there.
His teammate is backing away as if scared of something that's happening there. Amin, thank you. We will let you go on.
Real
yes?
quick.
Yes.
One last thing. I know I talked about World Cup withdrawal syndrome, but there is another disease that's going on that's World Cup related. I don't know if you guys have noticed this. So I have in my hand right here, these are my credentials from Summer League. And typically, this is how you wear a credential. And then this World Cup, I've been noticing people doing this weird side satchel thing. And I'm like, what's going on there? And guess what's happened at Summer League? Everyone's rocking it like a crossbody. And I'm here to say, enough. Stop following the lead of these stupid people over there in the World Cup. Yes, they have the great game, Joga Bonita, all that stuff. But I'm not here to emulate their dumb fashion trends. This is how you wear your credential, right like this. Stop doing it like this. First of all, security can't see it, so you got to, this is me over here. Just wear it regular.
Yes.
Posers.
Well done.
Thank you, Amin. Appreciate the indignant punctuation to your segment.
Right on.
Well done from Greg.
Greg Cody has announced and Mike Ryan has notarized that this is the greatest semifinals in the history of the World Cup. England-Argentina is interesting for a number of different reasons. Greg Cody said that empirically, Argentina has been quantifiably the slowest team in the entire tournament. Okay, so they are in the final, or they are in the semifinals, even though their last three matches, they've won by barely nothing. They should have probably lost all three of them. You could have made the argument for them being eliminated. I do not believe they are the class of this group, but they have Messi. I believe they are clearly the fourth best team in this tournament, but they've got a singular star who has no precedent in the history of sports, really. So what you have happening in this game, which is the better of the two games from a storyline perspective, the weaker of the two games in terms of who's best. Because if France and Spain were playing for the championship, I think everybody who loves soccer would take that. Would take the game being played today as the championship and saying, yes, whichever one of those two teams wins is the best team in the sport. Spain has allowed one goal in the entire tournament and didn't allow any goals the last two times it played in 2022 either.
And recently beat France. Euros, their superstar just turned 19 years old. Incredible stories around Spain.
But England, Argentina, you may have noticed, Argentina famously does not have any black players because their history with race is horrific. The entire country's history with race.
Have they never had a black player?
Well, no, I don't think that that's the case, but they don't have one now, and it's because there aren't very many black people in Argentina, and Argentina is playing England in a game that has plenty of storylines tomorrow. But are you guys afflicted with the World Cup withdrawal of the last couple of days where you've been
long 2 days? It's a long 2 days, but also part of it is because I'm eagerly anticipating this. If you want to parse, that's the worst of the semifinal. I don't think there's a bad semifinal here. That's not as good of a final. The real final is on this semifinal. No one knows that. We're splitting hairs here. Argentina have looked unimpressive compared to the other three, but they've all had their dips outside of France. But any one of these teams can beat the other. Any final that we get is going to be great. I actually like the way that the semifinals have broken up in terms of international rivalries. You're guaranteed to see that. And by the way, this is exactly how FIFA designed it for the first time ever. They ensured that if the top 4 seeds handled their business and won their groups, they would meet up in the semifinals. So quantifiably, it is, headed into it, the single greatest FIFA World Cup men's semifinal group ever.
I can't argue with that. I mean, I know that's the narrative right now, is that this is the greatest World Cup Final Four ever, but I really think it is for so many reasons. And Argentina is trying to become the first back-to-back winner since 1958 and 1962. And realistically, you could argue they're the 4th best team in this group, but Lionel Messi. And we see time and time again, he has taken this World Cup
against lesser opponents, though. Against lesser opponents and he's going to see the rest of the way. Like, you can do that shit against some of these teams that get tired late because they can't defend him for the entire time. Not against anyone he's playing the rest of the way.
But historically, they have a psychological edge when these two teams meet up. There's incredible infamous moments. We already covered the hand of God, Beckham's red card. And geopolitically speaking, not too far removed from a war. Argentina playing mind games, reportedly picking the darker set of kit because of their success wearing that specifically against England. But England, having tested their mettle against DR Congo, having gone to Azteca and mustered up the mental fortitude needed to beat Mexico in that stadium. Once I saw them have that result, my prediction was England wins this whole thing. A lot of golf to be played, right? But I think that they have a mental edge, and they tapped into something special here, Zaz.
If England smokes Argentina, Argentina's entire run this World Cup will be fraudulent, right?
I don't think
what we say, they haven't played anyone.
No, but they haven't played anyone, but the way they've won will be remembered by Argentinians forever.
Yeah, they've played 2 of the 3 best World Cup men's matches I've ever seen.
But if they finally face a power and they get their ass kicked,
I think they're going to lose, because what I've seen for them in 80 minutes of 3 straight games, I'm like, you can't play that way against what's left.
Yeah.
There's no pressure on Argentina to win. There's no pressure on
There is
Messi.
always pressure on Argentina to win.
Okay, but
this is not a house money thing. I know what you're going to say. For Messi, personally, he needed the one.
Right.
But he's not just chasing greatness. He's not just chasing a trophy.
Winning multiples is huge.
Winning multiple, winning back-to-back, that sets him apart. Remember, what people held against him was the international success, because the trophy count on the club side is undeniable. Pelé never had that success over in Europe. He played in South America. Pelé was known for what he did in the World Cup. And that success, until recently, eluded Messi. If Messi pulls off with what we're all admitting seems to be the least impressive team of the 4, that is an all-time moment, and you have to. Although the Ronaldo people, they're just firmly entrenched. You have to give it up to them.
When I look at that half of the bracket and I look at England, the inventor of modern football, when I look at England going for its first World Cup since 1966, I think that's the pressure more than the defending champion trying to repeat.
Can you guys look up, please? I've told you guys that my algorithm is now just filled with a whole bunch of soccer all over the place.
Algorithm.
Well, no, but you have to go ahead and look up some Pele highlights just so you can see how much slower players were back then. Just so that you can enjoy from 50 years ago who he's playing against and how it is that he's coming by whatever it was. It was 3 World Cups for Brazil, right, over the course of about 16 years.
That's why I think what Messi's done solidifies him in my eyes. And I know recency bias, right? He's the only one that I got to see actively, but I watch these old highlights. I see the shape of the turf. I see the speed in which I'm like, wait a second, is this normal speed? And all the injection of analytics, training to get the best possible performance from every individual player, individually and collectively as a unit. So many resources go into these national sides now, even, that I think Messi is the greatest of all time.
Greg, would you?
The goalkeeping in particular back then was really, really bad.
But that's the beauty of sports, right? When we watch a black and white grainy video of Babe Ruth batting, we're like, he couldn't put the bat on the ball now. You watch Johnny Unitas in the 60s dropping back to pass, you're like, what? You know, everything is bigger and better now and faster. But there's still Pelé and Maradona. I don't care the era. There's still greatness. You know, that doesn't go out of style.
You've been talking about Yaz all show. Would you be interested in Tim Kirkshin's best number 8s of all time?
Yes, I would.
Okay, so he's got what are the rankings, Jeremy? Don't give us who his best number 8 of all time is. Can you go? Does he do them in order? Can you go 4, 3, 2, 1?
I can just give you the 4 that he brought up in this conversation on his own podcast. Now, I was surprised Gary Carter didn't make this list, but the 4 names that he brought up were indeed Yaz. He brought up Joe Morgan, a name we had yet to mention, Cal Ripken Jr., and Yogi Berra. That's his Mount Rushmore of number 8s in baseball.
Perfect. A great list.
But who's number 1?
Yaz. All you can eat.
Yogi Berra. He has Yogi Berra as the greatest number 8 of all time.
You know what? The catcher always gets the inside track. The catcher, seriously, I'm not even kidding. Yogi Berra was great, but a catcher is always going to get the benefit of doubt when it comes to that kind of a list, in my opinion.
Were there any fan accounts on Twitter that you wanted and just like you couldn't get?
No. The only 4 I've ever had are myself, Yaz, Mavis Staples, and Brendan Benson.
What do you mean yourself?
At Greg Cody.
A fan club of your own?
Is that a fan account?
You're the head
or am I
of
called Upset Bird? What's my Twitter account
You're
called?
the head of your own fan club? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm the head of my own account. Nobody does Greg Cody like me. And you know it. Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
Sing that shit. That's not how you say it.
What do you say?
What'd he say?
What do you say?
What'd he say?
What do you say?
What'd he say?
Nice hat, asshole.
See, Zaslow thinks that's his phrase, but he won't even say it now. Like I'm challenging him to say it.
They got a word for that, you know.
What's that? Yeah, I've heard that. You know, I want to see how similar his version of that is to my original, but he won't say it.
Yeah, keep saying it every time. It's just dollars.
What'd he say?
It's just more money. It's going to go into my pocket at the end of this.
Is that right?
Yep.
Gonna sue me, are you?
I already told you, you're Napster.
Napster.
Does Napster exist anymore?
I'm Kazaa.
Nope.
LimeWire.
LimeWire. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is normally, traditionally, this is a slow time in sports. It can't be because of the World Cup, but
Brad Williams says it's a slow time in sports. I'm like, what planet are you on?
but the reason the ESPYs are tomorrow, even though the award show is a bit dead in general, is because it's traditionally the slowest day of the sports calendar is tomorrow.
Right.
And the host of the ESPYs is a local kid, Marcelo Hernandez, has to be the youngest person to ever host the ESPYs. That guy's not even 30, is he, from Saturday Night Live? I would imagine that he'd be nervous doing this. This is a different thing. It's not the norm. I mean, anybody gets nervous sometimes performing, but this is a very young performer here locally. Tony, are you looking for with enthusiasm at Latino representation? Because this is not something that traditionally goes very well in sports media. We are very underrepresented in the sports media.
In this room, we're good. Locally, we're good, right? Nationally, we don't have that. So no, it's going to be cool to see Marcelo do it. I don't go out of my way to go consume his content, but like I'm proud of somebody from Miami being able to be on these huge stages, SNL, obviously the ESPYs. Am I going to watch it? Probably not.
Yeah, it sounded like you were lukewarm, like you're supporting him only because he's Hispanic.
Exactly right. You nailed it, Dano. He's good. Culture? Okay, perfect. I'm not going to watch it, but I support you. I promise you.
But be funny. You're going to be funny.
Maybe, if you want to be funny. If you're funny, I don't care. I'm not going to watch, but I like it that you're there.
Do you like breathing hot neck on the neck of hot?
Wow.
Are you turned on? Do you like
dangling?
Breathing hot neck?
What's going on here?
Do you like
Sexy.
breathing hot neck?
You have been dry humped many, many times.
Intimate.
You have been dry humped many, many times.
Little pelvic thrust situation?
I like that.
Have you ever consoled a naked man before?
What does it feel like to get dry humped?
SLPP.
I've never consoled a naked man.
Breathing hot neck.
I've never consoled a naked man.
Many, many times.
SLPP.
People out there, stop sending me pictures of the hotel rooms with the chair, okay? Stop sending those to me.
I like that. I like that.
He was naked.
Intimate.
Dangling.
I would hold that thing really tight.
How would you do it?
What's going on here?
Do you like
Sexy.
breathing hot neck? Do you like breathing hot neck?
I've been dry humps.
You never know.
I've been dry humps.
Many, many times.
I've never consoled a naked man.
Have you ever consoled a naked man?
I've never consoled a naked man.
Many, many times.
You never know. I like that.
You know what I'm talking about.
Chris Cody and Roy revealed this to me. And Roy, I don't know the context of what it is that you guys were talking about that revealed this about Chris Cody.
Yeah, Chris asked me what the sound from the first down for the Dolphins games were. And I said
it's just a noise I've made throughout my entire life. It's just like I just did it. Hoo-wah!
Yeah.
And to me, that's another Miami Dolphins first down.
Well, let's find out. Let's find out if your dad knows, because he's not a real moviegoer. Instead of impersonating the sound, do you have the actual sound? Greg Cody, do you know who's making this sound?
Hoo-ah! I do.
Clark Gable.
Come on.
It's the famous actor.
Rock Hudson.
Oh, this is great. He doesn't know it.
No, it's the famous actor. And I got to pin his name down because I don't think
you should be able to say this immediately.
I don't think it's Robert De Niro.
No.
But I think it's
in the neighborhood.
In the neighborhood. Give me a second. Robert De Niro.
Humphrey
Bogart. Al Pacino.
Hey, there you go.
If someone said that in his headphones, you're fired.
Now,
No,
what movie?
nobody said
What
that.
movie?
It's APAC. What movie?
Streetcar Named Desire.
You ain't you. No. You're not man enough to know the truth. Something like
No.
That's a few good
the one I
men,
bought.
and that's a few good men.
Good answer. Good answer.
And it's not, you're not man enough to know the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Don't know.
That's
Don't know?
Against the spread. Against the spread. Against the spread is presented by DraftKings Sports. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Tony, go ahead.
All right, starting in a few hours, or maybe it's already started by the time you hear this. Spain, France. We got the semifinal today over in Dallas. I'm going to take France against the spread. They're minus half a goal. I think France is going to win it outright within the distance in the 90 minutes. Give me France with the best player on the planet at plus 135 against the spread.
Is he the best player on the planet, or is Messi the best player on the planet? Who's the best player on the planet?
Mbappe is probably the best World Cup player ever. Certainly when it's all said and done, he might be. Has an opportunity to make it to 3 straight finals. Unbelievable stuff for Kylian Mbappe. I'm going to the other semifinal, though. I think England have been better than Argentina this tournament. Now, that's not always predictive analysis, but I think it is what it is. And I think the magic for Argentina finally runs out, and I think England can get this done inside of regulation. I'm taking them against a spread. Market price, plus 170 on the DraftKings Sports app, now available in all 50 states.
What did he say?
What did he say?
So we'll bring aboard Juju here. First, though, LeBron is on a panel at this week is Fanatics Fest. It's that big thing in Brooklyn. It's that's event. You get the autographs and everything, celebrities, athletes. LeBron is on a panel at the end of this week. That's where he's going to announce the team he's going to play for, right?
You think?
I don't know.
With the New Jersey?
I said last week I think he does it on Rich Paul's podcast to lift up that show.
But that's not a live thing.
Right, but I just think like he did it once. He did The Decision, then he did Sports Illustrated. I just feel like in this day and age, it's going to be on. I'm not saying it'll be live. It might be taped, but it'll be on the Rich Paul podcast.
All right.
I do think it's weird that so little information. You'd think somebody would know something, right?
No one knows nothing.
But I'm just saying that the reporting on this is awfully quiet, right? If you're negotiating with a team and a team knows, it could leak from the team. It could leak from somewhere. It's awfully quiet.
Juju, do you know? Where's LeBron going?
Oh, yeah, I absolutely know. My boy is going to become a New York Knick any day now. I know it sounds crazy. It doesn't seem natural. But as I said a while ago when we had the brother Kenny Beecham on, I said my boy has his eyes on New York. I know my boy. I see the gimmick in him. When they won the championship, nobody shed more tears than LeBron because he thought he was finna step in and, you know what, I'm going to go to New York, become a legend there, and bow, I did it. Now he got to get a little permission slip, and I think Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson going to get that with that
Juju, that's the one place Rich Paul is saying is not available. He's taking calls from WNBA teams, like he's taking calls overseas. The Knicks are the one team he said no chance.
Exactly, and y'all keep believing his ass if you want to. He keep lying in y'all faces every summer. And y'all, how did AD become a Washington Mystic? Because he knew.
Juju, a lot happens on the show. Do you have a joker of the day for us?
Oh, yes, man. Speaking of the Washington Mystics, the DMV's own KD, Kevin Durant, the KD 19s are going to be available on July 15th. And his PR team chose to tell his ass to bite this damn candy apple.
Nah.
You, sirs, are the jokers of the day. The PR team of my boy KD. Come on, man.
Why would he agree to do that, Juju?
Because candied apples are delicious.
I love candied apples.
What's wrong with, put it on the poll at Le Batard Shows. Aren't candied apples pornographically delicious?
You call them candied apples?
Yes, I do call them. I call them candied apples. Do I have it wrong? Is it candy apple?
No, you got it right.
No, it's candied with an IED.
That's what we said.
He also says Holland.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Candy apples or candied apples?
Yeah, I always thought it was candy apples.
You were wrong.
All I know is you got a candy ass, buddy. How about that?
What'd he say?
I don't know what that means. All right, anyway. Juju, flowers of the day. Who did a good job today? What do we got?
Oh, yeah, man. Last night, bruh. Greg, you're right. It wasn't the most star-studded event ever, but, man, seeing my boy get the W last night, Jordan Walker, it was amazing. And then afterwards, I'm going to give the flowers to his grandmama, man. On the set, his grandma had nothing but lovely things to say about her grandbaby.
Wow.
Listen to her.
Very nice. Lovely.
Wow. Well, he was a good grandson. He won right in front of her. He's a good son.
Mm-hmm. And as all grandmothers do, she loved her grandbaby, and she made sure the whole world knew that, and it was just wonderful to see.
Juju, polls for the day today. I don't think we had too many, but what do we got? Let's update some polls here.
Yes, sir.
We got a big W for you, though, Zaz. It is indeed, according to Wikipedia at least, candy apples,
Yeah.
not candied. Now, there are some websites that were selling candied apples, so I think you can go either way with this, but candy is what's on the Wikipedia entry. Congratulations.
That's a candy apple.
Yeah, Wikipedia never makes a mistake.
Do you water your dog? 58% of the audience says no, they don't.
Come on, people, doggies, come on. What are you doing?
And last poll, is Christopher Nolan a scam artist? This has never happened before in the entire history of the show. 100% of the audience says no, and those are your polls.
That has never happened before.
How is that possible? Thank you. Good night, everybody.